And now a message from the Tom Barnard Podcast. What to do if your friends drink too much on Cinco de Mayo. Later today, if your friends start saying things like
Cinco de Mayo,
or
you're
they may have drank too much. The best plan of action is to get them some water. Offer them some chips and guacamole. And in case they get lost, repeat the name of the place you've been drinking.
Rojo.
If you do lose track of your drunk friend, the best place to look is the drive-thru of the nearest Arby's. This has been a Cinco de Mayo message from the Tom Barnard Podcast.
There you. I like how he's laughing at himself.
I'm laughing at Brittany.
I feel attacked.
Why?
How dare you? I went to Arby's
Booze hound.
one time, and
You're a
now
booze
that
hound.
is my identity.
I said you're a booze hound.
You know what? That was so funny, Rudy.
Because it was about you. Is that what we're saying?
It wasn't about me. Rojo.
Rojo. Rudy, I need my invitation to StreamYard.
I sent you one.
Oh, you sent me one?
Oh, did it not come up? Oh, yep.
It did not.
Okay.
I still don't have it.
It's coming now.
No, it's too late. I'm gonna head home.
You know, email is quick, but it's not always that quick.
Well, that's true. It's a good point.
Are you on your Gmail? Your Gmail?
Did you just say Gummel?
It's Friday.
Okay, wasn't it enough yesterday that we had to suspend you for a day for what you said on the air the preprevious day?
What did I say on the air the previous day?
We had to kick you off the show for an entire day because you went on the air and said the following. Because I can't remember who I was even talking to, but it was a pretty sad story. And you said, I don't want to listen to this. It's like you told our audience to stop listening.
No,
that's exactly what. Don't try to change the subject.
No, I'm not trying to change
You're
the subject.
You're a disaster.
When Egert was doing his depressing report.
That's what it was. It was Chris.
And he even admitted he had to pivot because he was like, and don't go outside for the... It wasn't news.
He was tearing up.
He was getting so emo. And then I was like, fine,
really
let's lean into it.
Let's not go, I don't want to listen to that. Listen's a very key word to this show.
I said I want to talk about that.
No, you said you don't want to listen to it. You want me to go and play it back for you?
You want to know what I don't want to listen to right now?
Me? Oh, you could go home. You could do that if you want. You pill.
You pill. Quack, quack.
There she is again, quacking up a storm. See, the great thing about this show is that you and I have known each other for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Or 15 years anyway. So when I tell you to kiss my living ass, you just go, okay, well, you do the same.
Oh, no, I'm very upset. I'm very hurt. I'm very sensitive. You should know me about this fight. This will affect me for the rest of our relationship.
I love this. I fought in the Middle East, but Tom really upset me.
He really ruined me. He really made me toss in the hat.
I think that's wonderful. You know, I can take the Middle East and the war, but not Tom. I understand.
That's where I draw the line.
I got no problem with that. I understand completely why you'd be upset.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday in Minnesota. You know what that means? We're going to get rained on.
Woody-woo.
Can it not be nice here on the weekends? Is that just impossible in the spring? Till like June 20th, so we got about another 6 weeks. Yeah, for some reason, because it was very nice. Yesterday it was gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
Man, it was nice out. Here's the deal, though, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly cloudy with a few showers possible. A possible thunderstorm. Yeah, I don't know. They're looking like it's starting at 10 o'clock. Hey, what time does the show end, by the way, Rudy? What time does the show end?
For most of us, 10 o'clock.
What time is it supposed to start raining?
I would imagine, because you're asking me, 10 o'clock.
That's exactly right. That's exactly. It's going to start raining the second the show ends and we get outside. Does that sound too bitchy?
No, I would listen to this. I am listening to this.
Oh, listen. You all should listen to this report.
Listen to him.
Oh, God. Okay, so here's the deal. So, yeah, it's going to rain today starting at about 10 o'clock. It's going to be off and on, though, but a thunderstorm, or thunder shower, I should say, is possible, a high 68. Tonight, scattered showers, possibly an isolated thunderstorm, but not severe, with a low of 55. Then tomorrow, cloudy with scattered showers again. Not a washout, though, with a high of 66. On Sunday, partly sunny. A few showers again because it's the weekend with a high of 70. Get away from me, you. Now, here's the other part. Now, what do we got Monday? Partial sunshine, 72. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high of 75. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 76. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, always beautiful. And then, of course, you get to the weekend and you piss all over Tom's dreams.
Not dramatic at all.
No drama there.
No drama llama.
No, you're right.
You know, maybe we need it more on Mondays. We need that little pick-me-up.
Could we get a pick me up on like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Fine.
I wouldn't mind it. Is all I'm saying.
We got some good weather. I don't care. I don't care if it's raining a little bit. 70s. Yes.
It was gorgeous yesterday.
Oh.
Just beautiful.
It was outstanding.
No question. Went and saw Fawny. She was in a play last night at the school.
Did she have a line?
No, she was in the chorus.
That's perfect.
But I told her I was proud of her, and she almost teared up. Oh, she's so sweet. What a sweet kid.
So cute.
Very cute little kid. She's about as big as a pop bottle.
But man, will she F you up if you look at her the wrong way.
Oh, yeah. She's got a little Alex in her there.
She's got, she's little, man. You do something, I'm like, hey, does this, toy go in this toy? No, not at all. Like, oh, okay. You just read me up and down. It's fine.
Up and down. So it all works out in the end. So how did your deal go yesterday?
Good. I was trying to do a class over the summer. I don't know if I'll be able to do it because they had 2 times. I wanted to do just one nursing class over the summer. Pharmacology. I just felt like that might help us all if I know what drugs we're all taking.
Oh, that's, yeah. I'm going to turn to you when I need to hear that info.
Of course.
No
of course
problem.
you'd come to a student nurse.
I feel terrible. Should I call Dr. Zarent or Brittany? Who should it be?
Should I take this pill, Brittany? The answer would be like, oh, give it a go.
It came out of your purse and there was a gummy bear stuck to it. So
God,
I
I
don't know
hate that.
if I should be ingesting this.
Have you ever dated women that had this the layer on the bottom of their purse? Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's
it's as sticky as cinema floor. It's
Yes.
so disgusting.
I
I
don't
agree.
have
Jesus.
sticky, but I have loose items galore in my purse.
like what? A knife?
Like all
You have a
sorts
knife
of
in there?
stuff. Like just things. Just paperwork I probably should do.
Tom's will. Why do you have that in there?
Yeah, Tom's Will's in here.
Weird.
I heard you took yesterday off because you were meeting with Biden and Trump to try to set up scams with both of them.
Yeah, that was later in the afternoon.
so
I
yeah,
could
it
have
was
come to
later
work
in
and
the
done
day.
both. Yeah, they don't wake up that early. So.
You know, this has happened throughout our history, but to actually have 2 presidents, one current and one former, that are both being charged with defrauding the people they're trying to, or they're supposed to serve, I gotta believe maybe both of them should go to prison. What do you think?
Yeah, are we wasting time? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. Once again, why are we doing the things we do? And then the Russians set up that. Did you see the phony tower attack?
No.
Oh, Jesus, Palomino. There's some dome. I don't even know where. I think it's the Kremlin, I think. And it's kind of a dome, and it's got this big antenna, kind of looks like a radio antenna, right? And all of a sudden, it just blows up from the base. By the way, blows up from the very base. And the Russians said, attack from the United States. Yeah, we're going to bomb a radio tower.
Yeah.
If we come all that way over there, we're going to attack your radio tower.
Boom.
What a joke.
Yeah. Biden had a pretty decent joke at the correspondence dinner over the past week. I think it was Tuesday night? Was that the correspondence dinner? Tuesday
Yeah.
or something
I think
like that?
so, yeah.
He had a funny joke where he goes, hey, man, we put out 12 million new jobs. And that's just the lawyers that are looking in on the president. And I was like, okay, well, at least he's a little self-deprecating.
You think that's funny?
Well, no, I think it's funny that he makes that joke.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, but he didn't.
No, well, obviously, somebody wrote it, but he's the one who said it.
Yeah, but really?
What's the problem with it?
No, it's just stupid.
Well, no, I get it's stupid, but it's one thing for somebody else to say it,
self-awareness.
but the self-awareness of himself, yeah.
Come on. Do you think he's self-aware? He was reading it from a teleprompter.
Okay, I'm giving too much credit to an 82-year-old guy for propping himself up in front
He's
of a microphone.
only 80.
Either way.
He's only 80
Tom
years
does not
old.
allow us to roll up after 70.
I know, right?
I don't
Yeah.
care if it's a Democrat, Republican. If it's a politician right now, they're all scum to me.
Well, obviously.
They just are. I mean, name one decent person who's in politics right now, including the local people.
Bob Sansevere.
There
Is
you
he
go.
in politics?
Yes, he's
Is
something.
he the mayor again?
He's something. I forget what his title. We have to ask him what his title is. He's something. He ran for something and he got it.
Yeah.
Well-
Don't forget, we have another mayor on this show.
I'm the mayor of Pity City.
Oh, that's right. We forgot. Well, but she's a good mayor. That's a big difference. Now, look, like I said, I'm not taking positions against anybody. I don't like any of them. Your job is to serve the people, and none of you do that. Not one of them.
No.
It's them first, and then maybe it'll get around to us.
Yeah, I think you just gotta literally put your head down when you can, take a break, and
I guess, yeah.
do drugs.
Should I start doing drugs again?
It is Cinco. Hey, happy Cinco de Mayo.
It is Cinco de Mayo. Absolutely happy Cinco de Mayo to you. No, like I said, I'll get through and all that stuff. But I just, Rudy, I'm one of those people. I don't ever think politicians are funny. No matter what they say, maybe it could be brilliant, but it's just get off your ass and serve the people, and don't read off a teleprompter. How about that? But they all do. I mean, when's the last time we had a president who was really focused on the folks?
I don't know.
You got one ever?
I don't know. I don't think about him or her. Just kidding. It's never going to
It's
be a
never
woman.
gonna be a woman. What are you doing making jokes like that?
Oh, that's depressing.
What are you talking about? Could be a woman any minute now.
Sure.
Yeah, actually, he's right. It could be a woman any minute now.
It could.
And all we need is
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All we
A
need
good
is-
jump scare.
Yep, and it's a woman.
I mean, and I'll bring this in. And I don't want to talk politics all morning because I'm not trying to talk politics. I just don't think that stuff is funny. I never have. Matter of fact, I cannot think of one president that ever told a joke that I thought was funny. Can you? I mean, think back. Is something funny?
I don't know.
I'm suffering. I'm trying to come up with something.
I don't have like a top 5 hilarious jokes.
Do you have a top one? No.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't, adore Trump, but he did say, I mean, it was pretty funny when he would go on Twitter rants. Like, in the way that you were mortified he was our president, but like when you attacked the way that people looked, it was like, I can't believe this is.
I mean, that stuff is so out of line.
It's so naughty that
it's just terrible.
I was just always like, please don't let my nephew see this. Please don't let my nephew
Yeah,
see
exactly.
this.
Now, let me be very clear about that. Like I said, I've tried to be a Democrat. I've tried to be a Republican. I've tried to be a centrist. I don't want anything to do with any of these people. They're just, I had all these friends years ago in politics, and we'd get together and we'd have dinner. They'd come to the house, or I'd go to their house, or whatever. Haven't heard a word from one of them in years now.
Really?
Oh, yeah. As soon as they left office, they had no time for me.
Okay, so I looked up the best jokes ever said by a president.
I like it. Now we're talking.
Now we're cooking with fire.
This one's not bad. This was said by Theodore Roosevelt. When they call the roll in the Senate, the senators don't know whether to answer with present or not guilty.
So that's good.
Not bad. That's pretty good.
Now, he might be my favorite president of all time. Maybe. I don't know enough about him to really make that call.
I heard an old story about him where he was canoeing down the Colorado River and was taken over by, like, I don't know what you want to call them, thieves. Thieves in the night. They stole they stole all of his camping gear. They stole his canoe. All he had in his pocket was a knife, and he basically whittled a canoe over like 2 days, and then got a stick as a paddle, and then chased these guys down and got all of his stuff back.
Really?
Yep.
See, that's my guy.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
You're right. So Teddy Roosevelt, I can settle in on Teddy Roosevelt.
There you go.
But some people hated him too. What are you doing with all those parks out in North and South Dakota?
What? It's suspicious. Why do you like parks so much, you pervert?
Well, Christ, somebody shot him on the back of a train, and he did the speech.
Yeah?
Yeah, he
That's
changed his
exactly
shirt
right.
mid-speech to cover up the blood. How
Hey,
insane.
you guys, I have a cold and I don't come in.
You're a candy ass though.
You get shot, you're done for the week, right? Like
you gonna-
most people.
Are you going to tell a long story? Because I don't want to listen to that.
I don't want to Brittany said she didn't want to listen to sad stuff. She's the
Unbelievable.
worst.
You are the worst of all time. There's
Yeah,
no
probably
question
the
about
worst.
it. No getting around it.
Top 5 worst, probably.
Top 5, you think?
Maybe top 5.
But no, I just, like I said, it's just one of those situations, because all I do is get everybody pissed off at me because they got their positions and they believe this is that. And I don't like any of these people. I've tried. I really did try hard to just kind of fall into that, well, let's support some. They're all scumbags out to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't like the fact that how many billions of COVID dollars are missing and they have no idea where the hell they went? It was like 80 billion or something. That's a problem. And that's over both parties and being president, right? So what does that tell you?
Well, I can definitely tell you that 80,000 of those billions of dollars are not in my bank account.
See,
So,
they're
yeah,
not. Where's
they're not.
our money?
See, don't. Yep.
Where's our chunk?
I
Yeah.
don't know. They don't know.
It's my money and I want it now.
I want it now. What is that again?
It's J.J. Wentworth.
J.J. Wentworth, you're right. It's my money and I want it now.
Me and Shannon, we were in the military
yeah.
together. And
Yes,
Shannon was
yes.
here yesterday.
Love her. She's
We used to
great.
get in so much trouble because we would do annoying things like that all the time. And one of the things we do is these big military buildings they have at Camp Ripley, you'd stay in these barracks, and we'd shout out the window like they would in the commercial. It's my money, and I want it now! When there's like all these officials walking by, and then they would be like, find that soldier. Like, they would be so mad at us, and we'd have to hide.
God.
But we're all in the same outfit, so we would just hide somewhere. She couldn't do it because, she's black, and she would stand out. But, man, we would die laughing.
What do you mean by she would stand out, you racist?
No, I mean, like...
Nope, that's what you said.
We didn't want to get caught. Oh, it was so funny.
Racist. That's all I have to say to you. Right?
Some people have feelings about President Reagan. Said he was funny and he had a very funny kitten joke at one point.
Oh, that's right. He did. That was pretty good, I guess. I mean, there have been lines. I suppose every president has had some good lines, I guess. I just don't know. They're just not my kind of people. Does that make sense to you guys? They're just not my kind of people is the problem.
I'm fine with them not being funny. I'm fine with them, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm fine with them disappearing and me not thinking about them.
The president shouldn't disappear. That's not a good thing.
No, I'm not saying disappear, but like not be in headlines constantly. Like, do your job.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let me live my life. Just that's it.
Do one of our listeners have any tips on how I can get through my life with not hating every politician ever born?
We've got feelings. People do not want to talk about politics in the morning.
Well, I'm not talking about politics. We're talking about humor.
Yeah, well, they don't like... There's people writing in quack, quack. They want to pivot from politics.
So we can never bring up the headlines anymore.
No, that's not it. But they're just saying a good way to avoid it is we don't have to talk about it.
But I'm trying to learn something here. You understand that?
Yeah, but
I'm trying to figure out which...
I'm not trying to grow as a person.
Well, see, that's the problem right there. I'm trying to grow a little bit. All I'm saying, okay, I'll close out with this. And if you guys, seriously, if they don't want to talk about this, I don't give a rat's ass. So none of us can talk. Okay, none of us are ever going to talk about politics.
No, nobody's saying that.
I just said that.
Well, you did say that.
We're doing it from now on. Don't even bring politicians up. I don't want to hear it.
Well, Rudy, quit bringing up politics every morning.
I'm not saying anybody specific.
Brittany?
I'm just saying it's Gelfand. Gelfand brings up politics more than any living human.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, he was here yesterday.
I have no proof of that.
There you go. More me now, for Christ's sake. You're a goddamn disaster.
I listened yesterday.
Oh, yeah, you told me you listened yesterday.
I had a grand old time listening.
Yeah, that's what you said. You had a good time.
And
so that's good.
That app is slick. I had that in the car.
Yeah.
I had that in my headphones when I was walking to school. It was slick.
They did a nice job.
It's a great job. It's a nice app.
They did indeed, sister. We got to take a break here. Got Bob Sansevere coming up in a couple of minutes. Right back with that on the Tom Barnard Show. When Mike, here's the deal. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow are launching the MyPillow 2.0. When Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. The MyPillow 2.0 has the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, and now with a brand new fabric that is made with a temperature-regulating thread. The MyPillow 2.0 is the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you will ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0. Buy one, get one free offer with promo code TOM, T-O-M. MyPillow 2.0 with its temperature-regulating technology is 100% made in the USA and comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Just go to MyPillow.com and click on a radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Just when you thought MyPillow couldn't get any better, MyPillow 2.0 gives you the best pillow ever. Enter promo code TOM or call 800-516-5146 to get your MyPillow 2.0s now.
Do you ever Google yourself? Are you happy with what you find? Or is it cringy? Are you a business owner or on your company's marketing team? How do you feel when you Google your own place? What do you see? A non-updated social media page you don't even remember making? Ads for your competitors? Hubbard Interactive can help. They're a Google Premier partner, so they can use search engine optimization to get your click results higher. They've got a photo and video department to make your business look sharp. plus social media, influencer marketing, podcasting, and more. All the things that will make you a lot happier next time you Google yourself. Here's a Google search that you'll find rewarding. Hubbard Interactive. You can see all the marketing tools they've used on hundreds of successful businesses, including an extensive gallery of the great work they could help your venture with. HubbardInteractive.com. Building campaigns that connect.
This is Bob Sansevere, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Need to remind you, mostly cloudy. A few showers are possible starting at 10 o'clock this morning, just when the show ends. You know, because there is a God or a devil or something. Mostly cloudy, few showers, possible thunderstorm today with a high of 68. It is sunny and 50 right now. Sunny and 50 now, but yeah, about 10 o'clock. Well, now they're saying there's going to be a thunderstorm at 10 o'clock. So I don't know if that's true or not, but they're indicating it might be a thunderstorm right at 10 o'clock. So right when we walk out, we'll get hit by a bolt of lightning, and that'll be the end of the show.
Huh? There's that.
What do you think?
Going into the weekend.
You guys hear that one come through about 4 a.m. today?
No.
Hot damn.
Yes,
Loud?
it gets very loud.
Yeah, shook the house.
I just erased my entire screen. How the hell did I do that?
Oh, no.
I don't know. How did you do that?
Tommy will have to figure it out. No problem. I got it.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, I think I just moved the screen on because of my really small fingers and hands.
I thought you were going to blame me.
You know what I really noticed about being on camera now, and you look up at yourself when you look up? Because I can see all of you here, which is a good thing, you know, being here. I never knew my hands were, because I have a big head.
Yeah.
Look at this. Honest to God, I got some mitts on me, Mike. Jesus, Palomino. In any case, I'm trying to avoid talking to Bob, but I just can't any longer. Tried to get rid of Sandy, just didn't work. Moved across the street, couldn't get away. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere Sports is brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. And by the way, Brittany did point out that it's about 50-50. Yeah. Some people want to talk about it, some people don't want to talk about it. So I think the decision to just leave it right there in the middle works for me.
Perfect.
I couldn't care less.
Let's be honest, Tom.
What?
Whatever you want to talk about, we'll do it.
Oh, God, listen to this now.
No, I mean, I'm serious.
Here we go.
Whatever avenue you want to go, we're going to do it.
Hey, Sandy?
Yeah.
Could you come in and then have Brittany come from your house? We could have her report.
Well, you know, I'd like to spend a week like Brittany. On Monday, she's heralded as the glue. A few days later, she takes the day off, listens to the show on the app.
Yep.
And then she comes back here and tells you how to run your show.
Oh, Bob.
I know. It's a disaster,
Bob's just happy for one time we're not attacking him.
That we're not attacking Sandy.
He will jump on anybody's grave to avoid us jumping on his.
Grave?
Let me tell you something. It's, you know, I get attacked every day, whether I'm on the show or not. And it's just, you know, it's my life. That's what I have. But you have the charmed life, Brittany.
She does. There's no doubt about it.
I won't disagree.
It's absolutely true. I mean, what a segment we got. Listen to this hour, the 7 o'clock hour. We got Sandy, then we got Kristyn Bert, then we got Steve Gillespie. He's giving us a call. That'll be great. It's a hell of a 7 o'clock hour right there, don't you think?
But every hour you have is a hell of an hour. Am I right?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Bob.
All right, I got to tell you, Tom, you held up your paw. You, compared to my doctor who does prostate exams, you have dainty fingers compared to him.
He's got the big
He's
logs.
got the giant kielbasa fingers. And I tell him, look, I actually have told him, go down the hall, go get the doctor who's the marathoner with the little tiny fingers, and, you know, instead of you. And the last time he did a prostate exam, he got the glove. It was like OJ. Oh, I can't get the glove on. I was doing gardening over the weekend. My hands are swollen.
Oh, God.
He just likes to, to toy with you because you know what's coming.
Did you ever
And it
shake
ain't
hands?
pleasant.
Did you ever shake hands with Dr. Najarian?
No, but I've seen his mitts. I know how big they were.
I shook his hand, and he, swallowed up my whole arm, for Christ's sake. That boy's got some big... And he's a surgeon, for Christ's sake.
Okay, the biggest hand I ever shook was Andre the Giant.
Oh,
Wow,
I bet.
Yeah.
Because I interviewed him way back in the, I think probably early 80s when I was working at the Asbury Park Press in New Jersey. And he really was not, because he did not want to talk to anyone who would not talk to him in French. And he was kind of curmudgeonly. And I had a friend who worked there who spoke French. He later did an interview, and it was great because he was comfortable doing that.
Who came up with that audio of him asking that question about the peanut? Remember that, Bob?
I'm trying to remember if I did hear. I probably have heard it, but it's probably buried in the
And
recesses.
I'm not making fun of speech impediments, so don't get on your high horse with that. I'm just repeating what someone did. They kept playing this thing back where he keeps going, anybody want a peanut?
That's why he wouldn't talk to me.
And that's probably why he wouldn't talk to you.
The Princess Bride is one of my favorite movies. It would be diminished so much had he not been in it.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal
Yeah.
in The Princess Bride.
No, I think you're right, Bob. See, I didn't know he was curmudgeonly. I heard he was always like Greg Gagne told me, he was always a really, really good guy.
Well, to another wrestler. Not
Yeah,
that
that's
he
true.
wasn't a bad guy, but he didn't want to talk. It wasn't yes or no answers. It was grunts. Or maybe he was saying something I just couldn't unravel the word.
Yeah, that's true.
It might have been that, but I loved him again in Princess Bride, and it just with him they didn't need special effects to make him look bigger.
I still love that story, and I've been told by several professional wrestlers that I don't remember where they were now, but Andre the Giant drank 156 beers one day. That's a lot of beer, baby.
And he also had wine.
And he also had wine. That's right. I forgot he took wine up to the room afterward. You're right.
Because I'm trying to remember now the wrestler whose brother was an NFL coach. He told the story because he was on the show with back when there was a ticket, because Mike Morris is a friend of this guy. It'll come to me.
Mm-hmm.
But he was there during this episode of the drinking the beer, and he
Right,
also had the
right.
wine chaser.
He had the wine chaser, which was like 4 bottles of wine.
At least. Yeah, he was.
What are you going to do?
Unfortunately, he died a young man. When you're that size, the odds aren't really in your favor to.
No.
You'll say, hey, guess who turned 100 today?
Well, remember the tallest man ever, and I can't remember how tall he was.
Robert
but he was-
something was his name.
Yeah, it was Robert something was his name, and he was like, what was he, 8 feet 2 or something, or
Yeah, he was doomed from the start.
lived to be 27.
That pituitary got working on him.
Jesus, 27
Oh, my
years. Oh, he died
God.
of what was it, gigantism? Is that what they called it? I think.
Yeah. Then they
Yeah.
sawed him in half and put him in 3 caskets, or sawed him in 3s.
There you go.
So anyway, your Twins.
Sandy, I'm telling you, the fact, if they had lost that game yesterday, there would have been hell to pay for everyone I came across today.
Well, losing to the White Sox, they'd lost 3 of 4, and they would have certainly, the series would have been done. But they
Yeah.
came back in the 12th. Correa and earlier Buxton. 5-run 12th inning put it away, but Buxton had a home run. Maybe he's starting to heat up.
Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like maybe they can keep him off the, because he is so aggressive, and it's not that he's a bad outfielder. He's very aggressive, and he always gets hurt.
Then leave him at DH.
Yeah, I agree.
'Cause he's now over, batting .262. So the average is coming up. He's had a few homers the last few games. So leave him there. And if he starts heating up as a DH, fine. That's why they went out and got Michael A. Taylor. He's a Gold Glove outfielder, a center fielder. Leave him there. He's at the bottom of the order. He is hitting .233, but he's had a couple of home runs. He's doing all right. He's not completely whiffing. And Pablo Lopez had a decent outing, 7 innings and 2 earned runs. So that's not, that's what you want from the guy who was brought in here to be the ace. They got 3 good starting pitchers.
They absolutely
and that
do.
could carry you.
You're right, but their middle bullpen's terrible.
No, it's been, yes. It was not brutal. What do they have? They had 5 guys throw after Lopez, and none of them gave up any earned runs. And 3 in a row walked a couple of guys, but they didn't give up any hits.
Yeah,
Runs, excuse me.
They got to do
ahead.
something about middle relief, Bob. They really do, because the closer's fine, starting pitching's fine, but those middle relief people are not having a big year.
But you know what? I would say of all the places that you need to fix as a season goes along, as other teams decide they're done and they're going to dump.
Yeah.
There are enough middle relievers that if you are aggressive in the market before the trade deadline, you can find good middle relievers.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of them out there.
Absolutely. So good. Let's start looking right now, shall we?
Yeah, they're on their way. Now, do you watch the Kentucky Derby? Do you care?
We're going to a Kentucky Derby party tomorrow, so I don't know that I'll even watch it. I don't care about that kind of stuff. Horse racing's fine. I'm not saying it's boring or anything. I don't know anything about it, and therefore I don't really pay much attention to it.
Well, I was looking at the horses that were entered. I used to like watching it. Now I don't really care if I watch it either. But what I find interesting, if you look at the names of the Triple Crown winners over the years, I mean, Secretariat, 50 years since Secretariat won. But look at some of the horses' names: Secretariat, Whirlaway, Affirm, Seattle Slew, War Admiral, Count Fleet, Gallant Fox. They're great names. And you say, well, that's a Triple Crown winner. There's a horse in the Derby tomorrow called Two Phils. Can you ever imagine Two Phils winning the Derby or the Triple Crown with a name like that?
Two Phils, baby.
I think they have a complex when they get stuck with a bad name like that.
Yeah, maybe. It's not a good name. You're right. You're right about that. No question.
Now, if there was a horse named Glue, I bet he would do well.
Oh, no, actually, it's not good motivation for a horse.
Well, the problem with it is, Bob, they take
Or a
off.
woman.
They take off every third race. Is the problem if you call them the Glue? What? What's that look?
They get to the backstretch and take a nap.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to, I can't really argue because I go, whoa, and then I'm like, but I do love taking naps.
You do love taking naps.
See?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Expert.
What's your favorite horse name that you have, Bob, at your place?
It'd have to be Zebulon.
That's pretty good.
Because he also, his name is Enchanted Hollow. That's the name of our farm, King Zebulon. And he has won 70 national titles.
Jeez.
He's unbelievable. He is turning 27 years old this year, and he still can win a national title. He's unbelievable. He also, though, much like some of us, others of us, he needs to hit the gym because he's put on some winter weight that needs to be peeled off because he's got hay 24/7. He actually's got like his 3 girlfriends that he hangs out with. He's a gelding, so he can't do anything about it.
Well, there you go.
But he's a great horse. That's a really good name. It's a strong name for a horse.
That is a strong name.
And you get the stupid little names too.
That's one of the worst names at your farm.
Everything but Zeb.
Oh, all the other names?
No, because none of them are really bad. There's no like Sugar or Cocoa. There's no names like that, but some of the names I can't even understand where people came from them because we have horses that we have had for a long time, but most of them were named by somebody else, and you're thinking, what are you thinking? By giving the horse a name like that. So, I can't even. Most of the horses have been given farm names or barn names.
We rode a horse one time. Its name was Kicking Bird. I was like, you know what? Maybe we try something. How about just like Gentle Stroll? How about that? Not Kicking Bird. Yeah.
Kicking Bird? What does that even mean?
I have no idea. They just said
the
horse's name is Kicking Bird. I was like,
and that's what they called him, Kicking Bird?
Kicking Bird, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got sucked into horses by Mary, my wife. And
Me too.
I have, you Tom and Brittany know, and I don't know, Rudy, I have 5 kids. There's a couple of years before we had kids, I had a horse wheel around and kick me. It was instantly black, and he missed basically taking me out in the paternal department by about an inch. And this horse, I heard like months later, he had to be put down because he was so aggressive to people. But you got to be careful. Tom, you have had them. You got to be careful around those horses if they'll wheel.
One thing would be kind of nice if the person, like let's say in this case, your wife, in my particular case, definitely my wife, is on a trip out of town with some horse show, and the stallion was left behind, and she said, "Would you do me a favor and just go out and put a lead on the horse and bring him in?" I said, "Yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem." I know nothing about horses.
Me neither.
Right? I didn't grow up around horses. I don't know anything about horses.
Yeah.
So I put the lead on the horse, and I grabbed the end of the lead like you're walking a dog. Well, you don't want to do that with a horse.
Oh, you have to hold here.
You got to hold it right under their chin. But I didn't know that.
Yeah, I would know that. I mean, I would know that, especially if I was nervous around the horse. I'd want it far away.
So I'm.
You think you're just gonna stroll with him into the barn?
I'm leading him into the barn.
Yeah.
Like a dog.
Yeah.
I should have been under his chin, but I didn't know that.
Why would you know that?
He bit the piss out of my left tricep. Oh my God, did that hurt?
Did it bruise immediately?
Oh yeah, big time.
What were your horses' names? Do you
I
remember?
don't know. Again,
Yeah.
I'm with Tom.
Costly.
You don't.
Costly.
every horse was named
I
Costly.
mean, costly and more costly.
And more costly.
Yeah, out by the stable, Money Pit.
Money pit,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Tom, it probably was breeding season too, so he was watching all the mares and he was getting a little worked up.
Yeah, tough guy. Yeah, exactly. God, did that hurt? I will never forget that. It's like, Jesus.
One of my sons was on a horse once, and it was horrible. This horse reached around and bit through leather chaps and his blue jeans, and it was, I mean, it was hard. It was like he just took a chunk of meat. And you talk about like pit bulls having the bite. These things can kill you. You're lucky it wasn't worse.
No, I am. I'm very, very lucky it wasn't worse. Bob, it's time for your Friday crossover with Kristen Bert. What do you think of that action?
Well, I think that I have the opportunity, and it's a blessed opportunity, to introduce the best in the business. There's been none better.
Oh, God.
You know, I've said that the Hedda Hopper, it's a good thing that Hedda Hopper and that other one are not alive today, because they would say, oh, my God, we can't beat Kristen Bert. She's better than we'll ever be.
It's true.
You
You're
know?
absolutely right.
Who's the other one, Kristen? I forget now.
I'm laughing so hard at this intro.
Hedda Hopper and I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. I introduced you as both once, and now I'm forgetting the other one, the other big gossip monger from the 40s.
Dorothy Parker?
No, not her.
No,
Dorothy
wasn't
Parker
her.
was from the Round Table.
I
she
know
was,
the round table. It was fabulous.
Yeah, she was quite she was what everyone aspires to be. She had very quick-witted and always had a line, no matter what it was. But anyway, Hedda Hopper will do just fine.
Dorothy
I'll
Parker?
take it.
Wasn't Dorothy Parker?
No,
We just Tom, did you just
What do
leave
you-
the show?
No. I was listening.
to turn into Brittany?
No, the reason I did that again, because I was trying to think of what the hell was the name of the hotel they used to go. Was it the Sherry Netherlands?
It was an Algonquin Round Table.
Algonquin. There you go. The Algonquin Round Table. That's what I was trying to
Algonquin
think.
is still fabulous to go to.
Really?
Oh gosh, it is so historic, and there's a cat that lives there, and you'll just see the cat kind of walking around the lobby, and you have like a drink and like maybe an appetizer. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Anytime you go to New York, you should go there.
That's what I've heard. I've never been there. And even when I lived in New York, I never went there. But
Oh, I love it.
I wish I would have. Maybe I'll have to get it done. And I also want to go to that bar, if it's still open, where Jackie Gleason bet Frank Sinatra that he could beat him around the block in a run. Did you ever hear that story?
No.
This is a great. You know the story, Bob?
No, but I would imagine I'd know the outcome, but I mean, they both were heavy smokers too. One was fat, one was skinny.
What was Frank's bodyguard's name again? What the hell was his name again? Oh, God, it was just in my head. Now it fell out of my noggin again. But here's what happened. So Gleason goes out and he goes, well, I'm not going to run right next to you because you'll be distracting. So why don't you go around to the left side? I'll go around to the right side. We'll pass halfway around. And then whoever gets back first, we'll just go in opposite directions so, we're not all over each other. And goes, okay.
Ed
no
Pucci,
problem.
by the way, was his bodyguard.
Ed
Is that the one you're
Pucci?
thinking? That's the one that came up as his bodyguard.
Jilly was the guy I was thinking of. Remember Big Jilly?
Oh, wasn't Jilly one of the mobsters?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Absolutely. So here's the great story. Kristen Bert. So they leave. Frank Sinatra runs off to the right. Jackie Gleason runs off to the left. As soon as Jackie Gleason gets around the corner, he gets in a taxi that he had called. They drive him around to the front, and he waits there for Frank Sinatra to run around. Isn't that
That
great?
is amazing.
He
That
called
is
a
good.
taxi to be waiting for him as soon as he got around the corner.
And I bet it was Luella Parsons who broke that story. That's who I was trying to think of.
Luella Parsons, very good.
Parsons, yeah.
I could
very
come
good
up with
singing.
Algonquin, but I had trouble with Luella Parsons.
You're the best in the business, Bob. That's all I have to say.
Well, on that note, I'm going to leave because it's not going to get better than that. That's for sure.
Thanks for the great intro.
All right, take care, Chris. Hey, Brittany, take care. And, take a few days off next week. You've been working too much.
Thank you, Bob. I think so too. Bye, Bob. I love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sandy. Bob Sansevere, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers. And now, of course, it's just been a tough week because between Brittany and you, it's like, who's great? I'm like, oh, God, would you leave me alone? You have a lot of fans, both of you.
Oh, that's nice. I love them. They all send me messages and they tweet and it's great.
That's what Brittany was telling me. We get tons and tons of text messages and emails and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you have great listeners. They're amazing.
Let me see the last email I got. Oh, I got a couple this morning. Does it have to do with anything? The problem I have is I have several friends. They're on this, what do you call it when you're on a stream? Or what the hell is it?
Group chat?
Group chat.
Thread?
There you go. Yeah, a thread, a group chat, whatever. And Pat Salt's one of them. Doc, Joe, all those people. So more than anything, oh my God. Red Sox fans snub Bud Light at Fenway Park and viral video. Their concession stands are a ghost town. Oh, this is sad. Are people ever going to get over this?
Yeah.
Do you think they will get over it?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they hired someone that you didn't care for to promote their beer. Who cares? I still don't. If you like Bud Light, why would you give a rat's ass who promotes it? Right?
You shouldn't. It wasn't at their target market anyway.
No.
It was for a very specific segment. They're trying to draw in not only a younger generation to drinking their beer, they're also targeting a segment because we're moving into Pride Month. You have someone with part of the LGBTQ plus community. It wasn't for you.
No, but Rudy did you talk to Budweiser yesterday?
I did talk to Budweiser yesterday.
They're still they're gonna sponsor the show.
They said that they're okay with it as long as we can get Kid Rock to shoot up another case of Budweiser so they can make the rounds. Then he's totally okay with it. Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
my favorite is that they go out, they buy a pack of beer and then they shoot it up. I'm like, that defeats the purpose.
I know. It's like when they burn jerseys and you're like, why did you bought it first? Like,
why would you do that?
Yeah,
that's weird.
To go viral on social media or something crazy like that.
I guess so. So anything good happening in Hollywood?
Well, I have to ask, are you suffering from dad devastation? Because that's what they're calling the fact that Kevin Costner is not going to do the second half of Yellowstone.
Oh,
for
right.
season
He's
5.
Well, he just got divorced. That's got to be kind of a bitch to do that after getting a divorce. When he married her for like 20 years?
He was getting divorced. His wife decided to file for divorce.
Oh, I thought he knew. I thought he knew. Sorry.
There is so much more to this story because his lawyer came out with a statement just saying, he didn't expect that this was coming and, he's got to go through this. But I've noticed his wife, Kristyn Bob Gardner, she has been calling the paparazzi. So anytime you see Backgrid as the credit for photos, and she got photographed without her wedding ring, and she was looking great, like meeting a friend for cocktails. So I'm like, there is some type of story that's probably going to break behind this. Kevin Costner has already had to deny that he had an affair and got a crew member on Yellowstone pregnant. That was a weird rumor that was floating around. So he has not had a good week whatsoever.
It doesn't sound like it. I will tell you that. I watched the first the first season of Yellowstone, and I thought the ending was not very good, so I haven't watched it. Did it get better?
Yeah, I mean, it has a solid core fan base with Yellowstone. Yeah, and dads are the ones that love the Kevin Costner, so they're calling his exit dad devastation.
Oh yeah.
So who knows how they're going to wrap up the back half of season 5. It's supposed to already have been out by now. Let's be honest. They haven't even filmed it. And now we have a writer's strike. So that is going to add even more of a backlog to the second half of season 5. And there's been a lot of confusion over what's happening with it. But it really does seem to be a personality conflict between Taylor Sheridan and Kevin Costner as the reason why he's not going back. Kevin's got a ton of projects. He's working on Horizons 2, which is his own project that he's got, and we'll see what happens beyond that. But the prequel for Yellowstone will be with Matthew McConaughey. So,
well, that's not a bad replacement.
No, I think it's going to be good. I think that they'll figure out what to do with that, and it has something for all the Yellowstone fans to look forward to.
Yeah, I just got a text message from a guy who works in Hollywood. I don't know if you know him or not, but I just got a text message from Taylor Sheridan. He wants your help getting work.
He's broke.
Is there anything he doesn't write?
I know, right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, the joke is he's literally propping up Paramount Plus.
No, he is. You're absolutely correct. Very good.
Yeah, and if the audience gets tired of his work, Paramount Plus better diversify very quickly, too, because that happens. Audience fatigue does happen to certain people's work as well.
I'm hoping after 1883 and then 1923, I'm really hoping they do 1963. I think he'd do a hell of a job. Right?
Oh, I think we've talked about saying what a fascinating era that is.
Yes.
And I mean, if he's emailing you or calling you, you should let him know.
Yeah, Taylor, hold on a second. Yeah, Taylor, I'll get right back to you, okay?
But just remind him he can't write that script right now because he's on strike.
That's right. And by the way, you put the comma in the wrong place last time, so don't write me ever again. So I just hung up on Taylor, so we're good to go. Everything's fine.
Perfect.
Everything else good?
Yeah, I mean, I think this weekend is MTV Movie Awards. We're already seeing celebrities drop out. Drew Barrymore was supposed to host, but a lot of people in solidarity with the strike are just not going to appear.
Oh, okay.
Kind of interesting. She's already agreed to host next year's show. You will see her in some segments that were already pre-taped for the show.
Okay.
I know Brittany will appreciate this. Lala Kent has dropped out.
Oh, good.
In solidarity with I know.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
in her best era. So I love that she was like, you know what? I can't, even though I'm an unscripted star, I have to support the writers in Hollywood.
Kristen, did you see that they've been calling her, because she's getting to the bottom of this like affair thing, Tom? They've been calling, her name is Lala, and they've been calling her Lala in Order.
Oh, there you go. La La in Order. I like it. I like nicknames anyway.
Yeah.
I've always loved them.
Yeah, she's fabulous. She's like a straight shooter. Actually, Tommy would probably love her because she just like tells it like it is. And I like to think she's in her best era. She had a baby and she got sober, and she is like carrying some of this show on her back this season, like putting all the pieces together. So
Love streaming. All right, we shall talk to you next week.
yes, I will be back on Monday, and I'll be up. If anyone needs me at 2 a.m., I'll be up for the King's coronation because I've got to cover it tomorrow.
All right, also, I got your email yesterday, so I'm going to get to work on it. We're going to bring Kristen into town.
Love that.
We got to figure out the good timing. You want to wait until probably the month of July. The month of July here is magnificent. Well, you lived here. You know that.
I lived here.
Yeah, you lived in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So, yeah, I'll get to work on that because I have never met. I've worked with her 11 years, never met Kristen.
That'd be super fun.
That's weird.
So I know it's embarrassing at this point. I mean, outside of the pandemic.
Yeah, but I got to be honest with you. There are people I didn't ever want to meet, and I had to put them up with them the entire 11 years. So what does that tell you?
I don't know.
More me now. All right, well,
Hopefully, I won't disappoint in person. That's
you'll be phenomenal. There's no getting around
a
it.
decade of build-up.
Absolutely. All right, we'll talk to you Monday.
You bet. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you very much. Kristyn Bert, ladies and gentlemen, KB2 as she's known. We've got to take a break. Very special guest coming up next. Steve Gillespie will be on the horn right after this Tom Barnard Show.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bialke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
7:51 now is 9 minutes till 8 o'clock. Again, it's going to start raining. They think, I don't know, I better look at it again so I give you the right information. Mostly cloudy, a few showers possible starting right at 10 o'clock this morning, then on and off throughout the day, I guess. Possible thunder shower. High is 68. It is 51 and sunny right now, though. It's very, well, it's not warm, but it's okay.
It's fine.
Steve Gillespie with us. How you doing, Steve?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Okay, I'm going to go from the bottom up of the sheet that I was given on you.
No, I don't have that sheet.
Shinesty underwear, huh? Is that the plan?
Yeah, Tom. I'm surprised. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've got it on a loop. Watch it every morning. Yeah, I just did it. Yeah, It's like a goofy underwear commercial. It was fun. If you really want to see it, you can see me in my underwear.
That's what we want to do. There's no question. We're going to put it up on the screen. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Shyness, underwear commercial model. Steve Gillespie with us, ladies and gentlemen, this Friday, tonight and tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Laugh Camp this weekend, Laugh Camp Comedy Club at 490 North Robert Street in St. Paul. Steve, it's so great to talk to you because one of the biggest things in my career was making the decision many, many years ago, and I didn't even know that comedians were never invited on morning shows in America. I had no idea because I was doing something else at the time or whatever. But when you guys started coming in, and God, that's got to be, 20 years now, something like that? I mean, not you, because you're only like 22, you know. He goes, yeah. But no,
We'll go with that.
I guess what I'm saying, Steve, is that comedians have always been such a big part of my life, all the way back to, the Alan Kings and Don Rickles of the world. So it's great to have you guys back on the show. It's really nice to have you back. It makes me very comfortable to be talking to comedians again. Love it.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm back too.
So we'll get this out of the way very quickly. So the pandemic comes along. You guys sit around. That had to be a bitch, I would think.
Yeah, it was tough. And, I mean, it was, in a way, it was good too, in a way, because I had been touring just nonstop going up to the pandemic. So I had no idea what it was like to just sit at home, and I had no idea what that experience was like, and to actually spend time with my girlfriend. And turns out we didn't want to spend that much time together.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
I learned a lot. I learned a lot about relationships in that stretch of time. Mainly, just do not ask your significant other what's wrong. Just don't ever.
Oh, no.
Just don't. That's a key, I think, to any happy relationship. Just don't ask. And I never had solutions. I don't know why I ask. I've never been like, "Hey, baby, what's wrong?" And then she tells me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can totally fix that." That's never happened.
No.
One time. Yeah, I'm like the world's worst first responder. Like I show up, and you're like, I'm having a heart attack, and I'm like, "I'll just give you some space then."
Yeah, it's not going to work, Steve.
Yeah. No, we're still together, though. We're happy now that the pandemic's lifted. We don't have to spend as much time together. So now we're happy again.
So, but Steve, that's the great news, is that you thought maybe it was all going to come to an end because of the pandemic and all the rest of it. But you two kids rose up and stuck together.
Oh, yeah. We're afraid to be alone. So
that's what it is. Okay. Now I understand. There's no question about it. I don't know. Did all the clubs, and I'm asking you and Rudy both this question, did all the clubs survive as well as they thought they would? Or nothing was happening for a while there.
I don't know about Steve, but I encountered probably about 3 or 4 different places that were, regulars when it came to comedy. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they were like, nope, closing shop. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was only a couple of clubs, but it was mostly the places that you knew were going to go under anyways.
Oh, okay.
Some of the restaurants that held comedy, but, you'd go and there'd be half filled every time you went. You're like, I don't know, maybe you guys should try something different in this space. Like open a Kinko's. Maybe you make some money.
Would be good.
Yeah, make some money printing stuff off instead of serving up chicken wings.
I guess. Well, that'd be a rough period. There's no question about that. No doubt about it. But now we're back. Now you think they'll come up with some other line of bullshit that we're going to, you can't do comedy now either? I just...
Do I think...
Yeah. Do you think this is going to be a nonstop deal? Like every couple of years we're going to have some pandemic running around the world?
Well, I hope not. I
sure
hope not. Yeah.
I'm right with you.
I mean, I know, like, what I found it to be very resilient. Comedians and people that wanted to see comedy, we figured out a way to make it happen. Like when I was living in Denver during the pandemic, we did so many outdoor shows. I did a show where I was on stage outside and everybody was in their separate cars. And they did it like a drive-in movie theater where they had like the frequency on like an FM channel. So I was on stage, talking to the microphone, and it was going into the car's radio. And so that you couldn't hear anyone laugh, obviously, because they're inside their cars.
Right.
So people would flash their headlights and honk their horns. That's how they responded to jokes.
That is great.
I mean, it wasn't ideal, but I think it showed a lot of just how resilient we all were, and we're gonna figure out a way to do it no matter what, even if we've got to do it, like guerrilla radio style,
Well, Steve, I can't wait, by the way, because hopefully now in the next iteration of all of this, that you guys will start coming in the studio again, and because that was one of my favorite things about Fridays over at the Q was when people would come in. We'd get 2-3 comedians in throughout the morning shows every Friday. It was just wonderful. So hopefully when everybody feels good and safe and all the rest of it, we can get back to doing that because, I mean, that's how I met you, Steve.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. It's nice to just be able to call from my bed.
All right, you're out of the mix then, Steve. Forget it. I'm going to reach out to some dead comedian. I'm going to reach out to a dead comedian and just have him lay here on the table.
Perfect.
I love that. At least you didn't lie. It's like, no, I'm not coming in there. I'm staying at home. Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Steve, Brittany and I were having this conversation earlier. Do you drive at all?
Do I drive at all?
Yeah.
Are you talking to my girlfriend? Have you guys been chatting about how bad of a driver I am? I have a driver's license. It's an odd question. Really.
Okay, well, that's not the question I asked. Do you have a driver's license, but do you drive?
Yes, I've been known to get behind the wheel.
Okay. Well, because everybody we've chatted with, because Brittany gave you a ride the last time you were at the studio.
This is forever ago, Steve. I gave you a ride because he was like, "Oh, Steve can't come in. He didn't have a ride," and I was like, "Oh, I gave him a ride home once forever ago at KQ."
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't live here, so I don't have my car here. I don't live in the Twin Cities, so I flew here. And then, I didn't fly my car here.
Oh, good point.
Do you still live in Denver?
I'm kind of been just touring basically nonstop for the last, I don't know, year or so. So I do have a house in Denver, but I'm rarely there. And I'm kind of in the process of either going to New York. I'm going to New York in July for, like an extended period, and then I'm going to be in LA for an extended period of time. So we'll see. We'll see where I end up. But during the pandemic, I was living in Denver.
The only reason I asked you that question is because I've stayed there many times. I can't remember the name of the hotel right there at the Denver airport. That big hotel that's connected to the airport.
Yeah, it's like connected to it?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've decided that if I ever want to just drop out of society and start drinking heavily, that I would live in that hotel. And then I could just fly anywhere in the United States because it's kind of centrally located. So I could just drink like a fish, live at the hotel, walk across the street, get on an airplane, go work, come back home, and then drink some more. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan, Tom.
It really does.
It's his retirement plan, Steve.
You're paying airport prices for the drinks. That's the only.
Good point.
Really good point.
Well, next time you come in town, Steve, I'll pick you up. That was lovely. I'll pick you up and drop you off. Why not?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Boy, you sound so fired up about that idea.
Steve, you have my work ethic, and I like that about you. I'm still like, can I do this show from my bed?
Oh, God. All right, Steve, next time I'd love to see you come in the studio. It'd be great to see you again.
It would be.
Thank you so much for your time tonight and tomorrow, 8 p.m. both nights at Laugh Camp Comedy Club, 490 North Robert Street in St. Paul. Steve Gillespie, you'll love it. Steve, we'll talk to you again soon, pal. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good day. Bye. God, what a great guy.
Yeah, he's fun.
I got to be honest with you, because people, many, like 35 years ago or whatever, when we started doing that, people go, how do you have all those comedians in there? Such pains in the ass, and they're not nice people. Why do people get that opinion about comedians?
I don't know. It'd be weird that they had that opinion a long time ago. Because nowadays, there's just so many outlets for somebody to get busted being a dick. For the internet and TikTok and whatnot. And it's the same reason why I keep telling my daughter, she's like, she wants $1,000 Taylor Swift ticket. I'm like, sweetie, we are one leaked Taylor tantrum away from tickets being $75 again. Just give it time. Let her lose her mind one day. It ends up on TikTok, and then ticket prices plummet. So
$1,000?
$1,000. Yeah.
Pal. There's nobody. if John Lennon came back, I wouldn't pay $1,000 to see him.
But you bought them second, like somebody sold them, like who bought them and sold them?
Yeah, so...
Because when I bought them on ticket, like when we bought them, they weren't that much.
No, my family tried to get in the raffle and then couldn't, so they bought them secondhand. But the other thing is there is a possibility of them opening production seats because they always hold back like 300 to 400 seats.
Yeah.
And then after they figure out, the setup in the stadium, they'll release more tickets. So if you can buy them, if anything, my brother-in-law made an investment.
Yeah.
He can just resell them because these definitely are going to sell for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So is she good? I've only seen her on TV. I don't know anything. I've never seen her sing or anything.
She does 44 songs. I mean,
44?
44 songs.
She has 44 hits?
Well, no, I'm saying in her concert.
Oh, in her concert she does 44 songs.
40. I mean, like, who does that?
That's a lot.
Her concert is almost 4 hours long.
Yeah, I could see that.
She's so talented. I mean, don't get me on a Taylor Swift rift because, and the thing is,
Swift rift, I like that.
Swift rift. She's polarizing. I know some people have feelings about her and people say this and that. At the end of the day, like, if you like her, you love her. You don't casually like her.
Let me go backward a little bit. Why would anybody not like Taylor Swift? What the hell did she ever do?
Well, I feel like a lot of people get mad when they're not the demographic. That's usually what comes into play. I don't know.
She seems very pleasant.
Sometimes people be like, why is she so angry about getting broken up with? And it's like, why can't we have a song that we go to that we listen to when someone breaks up with? Why can't we be angry? Why can't, and there's people that'll say, she needs to move on. She needs to, it's like, well, you're not saying that about other bands. You're not saying that like,
yeah, it's not like Hall & Oates needs to move on from Maneater. Okay, stop playing it, okay? Yeah.
As you still want to eat a man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like her. I think she's super talented. Our whole house is a Swiftie. Justin likes Taylor Swift. Her new albums are not very poppy. They're kind of folky.
Oh, okay.
And
is she leaning toward country a little bit?
No, she started out
folky?
country and then went pop
okay.
and then kind of had, I guess like a little old school. And then her last album, Midnights, has a little bit electronic-esque into it. I'd say every album kind of has a different theme.
We should sit and listen to Last Date. I can't remember the guy's name who sang the song. Do you know the song Last Date?
I feel like you talked about this one other time.
Really cheer you up because what happens is he sings a song about how sad he is because he went on a date with this woman. She finally agreed to go on a date with him, and it was their last date because he lost control of the car and he killed her.
Yeah, that's the When I Looked Up, the Rain Was Pouring Down. Yeah, Pearl Jam covers that song.
Oh, they do that. You're right. I was out on a date. That's how he sings it, too. It's hilarious. Sounds like he's going to die or something. Yeah, music is a very, very important deal. Right now, I'm having because I'm a huge R&B fan, and you cannot find R&B anywhere anymore.
This is true.
Well, it's why on the internet, obviously you can, but just like riding around, it's impossible to find R&B now. And maybe that's because the greats like, the Marvin Gaye's are dead or whatever, but that's such a great form of music, and that hip-hop garbage kind of took over that little area. I like one hip-hop song, though, that one, California Love. That's a good song. It's about loving where you're from. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing. It's not about everybody's an asshole and I'm going to bang your sister. That gets old. Does that get old to you guys? Like, oh, really? You're going to bang every woman you see? That's what you sing about? Is that it?
Depends on the sister.
Yeah, I suppose.
This is true.
That's probably true.
That makes a huge
total
difference.
Sense. Total sense. Now, as far as that's concerned, I'm trying to think that, it's the Marvin Gayes of the world that I really miss. And, it's not fair that his music was taken off the radio right after his dad shot him to death.
That's not great. Not a great timeline. No.
How'd you like to go home and your dad shoots and kills you? That'd be a little interesting experience. Not that my dad wouldn't have. Mm-hmm. He probably would have if he had a gun. But, what should I be listening to? Because Taylor Swift is talented. I've seen her on TV. She seemed very talented to me. Very beautiful young woman. Moves around, pretty smart.
Yeah, I'll play you some T-Swift during the break. I also was telling Rudy on the way in, I was listening to A-Team by Ed Sheeran. That song still hits. Like, that song
I don't know
is... that's why I'll play that song for you during the break. I think you'll really like it.
Is Ed Sheeran okay? Is he good?
Yeah, I don't like all of his music. Like, sometimes it's a little too... just... But the ones that are good are amazing. I'll say that. Like, I don't want to listen to his whole album like I do like Beyonce or Taylor Swift. Like, I don't want to like front to back. But the ones that like really catch you well. Ed Sheeran. I think he's a very good songwriter. Talented. And people wrote in that day we were talking about him, saying that it was one of the best concerts they've ever been to.
So why does everybody accuse him of stealing their music?
Well, he didn't. He was not guilty on that.
That's what I'm saying. Why do they accuse him of it?
I think if you're big enough, anybody tries to glob onto it.
I suppose, yeah.
Well, you know that feeling of like, if they can, they will.
Oh, I've noticed that over the years. If you're successful in Minnesota, boy, some people are going to hate your guts. What is that? Explain that to me about Minnesota.
I don't know, but I'm debating, what am I going to end up suing you for?
Yeah, you should. You should sue me. There's no question about it. I'll ruin your life, and then you can sue me. Were
you ever nervous to have people at your house because of that, or no? Did that not
when
pop
we did
your
the
head?
podcast from there?
No, like just in general. When you were at your biggest and you guys lived in Dayton, were you ever nervous about having people over because like I know some people that do really well and they get nervous about like people coming over and saying that this lawsuit stuff or whatever. No?
Nah.
You never had that feeling?
Well, to tell you the truth, because we had already moved to the house in Golden Valley.
Oh, okay.
For a couple of years, and that's when I stopped drinking. So when I lived out in Dayton and when we first moved into Golden Valley, I was still drinking. So you didn't want to do that kind of stuff to me. I was not a good drinker. I could get a little edgy, if you know what I mean.
And it's probably what, like not every time you drank, but once in a while.
A lot. I am not very tolerant anyway. You may have noticed that. I'm not a real tolerant guy anyway.
Yeah.
And then when you add booze to that, it gets much worse.
Your inhibitions that were small amount to begin with are gone with
not a lot of
the
inhibition.
filter.
That's true.
The filter is gone, and there was not a very strong filter to begin with.
No, that's a good way of putting it. And growing up in a house with 5 boys, that's although we never did fist fight. I mean, we got in arguments. Actually, one time I was making fun of my brother Todd by looking through a window in the back door, and I was kind of like going and making face at him. Apparently, he'd had a few because he punched the window, trying to punch me. Just shattered the window. Whoa! Tuppy, what are you doing?
Stop!
I love that, by the way, because his nickname was Tuppy. My father called him Tuppy for some reason. Nobody knows why, right? And so I brought that up on the air at the Q back in the old days, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
My brother Todd calls me, he goes, would you shut up about me? I said, what are you talking about? He goes, everybody thought you called me Tubby.
Oh.
Hey, Tubby, how you doing?
Did he ever say why he was called Tuppy? Did he know why?
My dad just called him that.
But
I don't know where he got it.
Okay, I didn't know if he was also sensitive to Tuppy, that it was like, oh, it's like Tupperware where... Throw away.
Well, let me tell you how creative my father was. You know what his nickname was for me?
Tommy?
Tomer. Oh, boy, you had to work hard on that bitch. That was a tough one.
That's funny.
You know what my brother Terry's nickname was?
Oh, no.
Because he's the oldest in the family.
What?
His nickname, was Number 1. Really? I got to grow up with that crap the whole time, do I? I'm behind the number 1 son. Is that the plan?
Oh.
You know, it's so funny because you talk, Rudy talks about his life. You talk about your life. You are the way you are because of how other people have treated you. You know that, right?
They even say nobody's raised by the same parents.
No.
No,
that's
if
right.
You're second born, it's a different experience. And I thought that was so interesting because you think with your siblings, you're so close because you both know how it's like, no, nobody was raised by the same parents.
No, that's exactly. And by the way, there were 7 kids in my family. Troy's dead, unfortunately. I really miss Floyd. What a great guy. Call him that because that's what my grandfather thought. My mother said when she named him Troy. Got Floyd. What the hell did you name him Floyd for? Everybody else named with a T. Yeah. It's like, gee, pay attention, you drunk. How about that?
It's not even close. Troy, Floyd.
Well, I guess there's an O-Y in both of them.
Oh,
That's
well,
about the extent of it.
Generous.
But seriously, I mean, I don't know. You guys, a lot of brothers and sisters, we've never really talked about that a great deal. But in my family, there are 7 of us.
Yeah.
And there was a 22-year separation between Terry and Troy.
Dang.
The oldest to the youngest. About half of us never talked to anyone again and haven't in 20 years.
Wow.
It was that traumatic. I mean, if you went through a traumatic childhood, that does happen, I guess, a lot.
There are periods in my life that there were people in that I just don't want to tap back into.
Yeah,
so you just don't reach out.
Yep.
And that's just easier for everybody. And it's not even like one person did something bad or I did something bad.
Right.
It's not even like that. But it's like, there's this thing around this, and we don't need to be reminded of it. And so you just kind of slip away. And
So how many brothers and sisters you have?
well, I have a brother and a sister, and then I have 4 stepbrothers and sisters.
Oh, that's fake. They don't count.
They don't. Well, they got
They're out of the
married when I was like in 8th grade.
They're out of the mix. Forget it.
So there was 7 in all.
Okay, you have 7 in all, and how many are your real relatives and the other one's
I got
fake?
1 brother, 1 sister, and we are.
Older than you?
Yep.
I knew that.
I know.
I could tell.
I know.
Because she's such a spoiled brat.
Trust me.
Spoiled brat, I say.
I was Bratney until I was old enough to be bitchney.
I like that. That works. Do you stay in touch with them? All of them?
I'm watching my brother's dog right now,
Oh, that's
and my sister is my best friend. Like, yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
And my sister lives in Minneapolis, and my brother lives in St. Paul. So it's nice because whenever I'm in those areas and I have time to kill, I go sit at their house or go take a nap. I take a nap at my brother's house all the time.
I can't. I'm going to turn to Rudy here in a second and ask him about this thing, but I won't say which one of my brothers it was, or it is, I should say, but he bounces around here and there. I love him dearly. He's a wonderful guy. But he goes, hey, I'm going to be at the blah, blah, blah bar. Why don't you guys come over? Because everybody got a lot of listeners over there. They want to say hello. So I'd go over there and say hello to everybody else. And about 2 weeks later, I go, hey, you want to go back to that bar? And he goes, yeah, I don't go there anymore. So in other words, what happened?
Yeah.
Why is that like the 7th bar you don't go to anymore?
More detail. I don't go there anymore. Is it closed? It's not.
Did they close her down?
I didn't know they went under. Something happened. X surprise. Something happened. No,
I don't go there anymore.
Me and my brother are so close. It's so funny because, when we did that, thing at Park Tavern. My brother was going through a breakup, and he was like, I just need to hang out. And I was like, you're coming with. And so next thing I know, I have him at Park Tavern with me. So whenever me and my brother, we're both like the type that we don't tell everyone our problems, but we definitely tell each other.
No, I understand that completely. Now, Rudy, brothers and sisters?
I got 1 full sister. I got a half brother. I got a half sister. I got 2 stepbrothers, 1 stepsister.
Like I said, get rid of the step stuff. Yeah. No blood, really. Get the hell out of my house, right?
Yeah, both my stepbrothers pretty cool. My stepsister's a total mess.
Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. How about your birth kids?
My sister and I pretty tight.
Oh, that's good.
They went to Disney World together.
Is she older than you?
Yeah, she's about I think she's about 15 months older than me.
Oh, okay.
And then my half brother, I just met him for the first time like 3 or 4 years ago, and then my half sister I just met about 2 years ago.
So how old are they now?
They are, my half brother is the oldest. I think he's like 47, 48.
God,
and
isn't
then
that amazing?
Yeah, then my half sister is a little bit younger. I think she's about 34, 33, somewhere in there.
So you had never met him your entire life?
No, that's
amazing.
We had heard rumblings of him, and I had asked my dad once when I was like 20. I was about 33. I was like, "Hey, so I got a brother out there," and he goes, "Yeah, his name is Michael Anthony." And I was like, "Wow, the bass player from Van Halen."
Yeah, that's not bad.
He's done well.
Yeah. Turns out not him. But we had always heard that he lived in Texas. And then one day I got an email because I did a documentary about my dad a few years ago. And then I got an email out of the blue that just said, "Hey, just want to let you know that I watched your documentary and I'm your brother that your dad gave up back in 1977." And we all met at Hell's Kitchen downtown. It was great, a lot of tears. Turns out he grew up like 19 miles away from my sister and I.
What a shock.
Wow.
Crazy. Didn't even know it?
I had no idea. Yeah, no.
Did he know it?
He had no idea either because he didn't try. He didn't try to find his birth parents until he was well into his. I think he had just turned 40 and was like, okay, now that I'm sober and I got grandkids and the mix, it's time to like really start putting the pieces together. And he finally found his birth mom in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Drove all the way there. Oh, here's another crazy part about that. So he drives all the way there and meets his birth mom. His birth mom's like, "I want nothing to do with you."
Oh.
And he said, so my sister and I both lived in Richfield at the time, right? And he goes, "Okay, well, listen, if you don't want a relationship, that's fine. But do I have any brothers and sisters from you?" And she says, "Yes, you have 2 half brothers." And he goes, "Okay. Can I try to find them?" And she goes, "I don't talk to them either, but just to give you a heads up, I know that they live in Richfield, Minnesota."
Right next to you.
How crazy is that?
How wild.
Yeah. So my half brother has 3 half brothers and then a half sister, and they from 2 different families, and they all happen to live in the same community in Minnesota.
That's amazing.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's a hell of a story.
That is crazy.
It really is.
Also, how do we watch your documentary?
It's online. It's called Dear Walt. If you just go to dearwaltmovie.com, it's just
Walt Disney was your dad?
That was. Yeah.
I knew it.
Yep, absolutely. That's where I got these ears from. It's these giant, massive
The giant mouse
ears. Yeah. No, it's been up for a while. I think we released. I think it's going on like 10 years now. It made the rounds. It played like film fests and stuff.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, it did. It did pretty
great.
well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to give it a whirl. So you can find it where?
Dearwaltmovie.com.
Dearwaltmovie.com.
I'll post this on our social.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool story.
Well, we got to move on, but I got a lot more questions about this. See, I love finding out about people I work with because there's always really interesting stories. And the one that the 3 of us share is, yeah, where's Dad?
Where's
Right.
Dad?
But
It's called the
again,
Where's Dad
I
show.
always come back to, they talk about, these people were raised this way and that's the way they're going to parent.
No,
And
not at all.
you guys would
Nope.
never. And like, I always go, wow, like that's what's amazing to me. And also probably very painful for you guys. Like, it would be almost easier if you were like your father because it wouldn't hurt as much. You wouldn't.
No, it'd hurt more for me.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're probably
I would
right.
hate that so
I know,
much.
but you would. Like, you have to, in the mindset of
Yeah.
somebody else. But like, you're probably right. I think long term, I think that Bible verse thing we talked about the other day has really stuck with me all week.
You're tearing up a little bit still?
Yes, shh. It's because I'm sick. Let's go to break.
Okay, well,
You know
she's
what?
sick, so let's go
Do you
to
know,
break.
No, okay. You know what's
We're
made
going to
me
break.
really emotional?
What?
Hearing that his half brother went to his mom and his mom said, "I want nothing to do with
I
you."
know. How sad is that?
That
I want nothing to do with it. You're my mother, for Christ. How do you... Okay, we
that
gotta
actually
get
makes.
going
I
here,
know, and we
but I
gotta
gotta
stop.
tell you,
Anyways,
honestly, there's a lot of it on TV right now because of the situation there. And I'm not going to bring up the guy's name because you'll think it's political. It's not. How do you walk away from it, your own baby? I mean, unless you don't have a chance with them, it's just too difficult to be around. I mean, there has to be some very important reason that you walk away from your child, man. I don't get it. I will never understand it,
No.
but I've seen it happen a billion times.
yeah.
Some people, I don't want to be your mother. What
I
the
know,
hell?
that's-
What?
I've been sitting here with a pit in my stomach ever since he said that.
Way to go, Rudy.
Because, like, I don't know what that, like, I of course think of my own kid, and I almost get a speeding ticket every time going home to her. Like, so let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break and come right back,
Break.
ladies and gentlemen, with a little Channel 5's Chris Egert right after this.
This is the Tom Bernard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Bernard Show app.
Hi, this is Tom Bernard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own my Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walzer Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walzer Nissan different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month and tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle? First, there's Walzer Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walzer Nissan. That's peace of mind, and this month you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinders for only $269 per month. You need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So not just Nissan, but Walzer Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Bernard family sent you. And ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walzer.com and select the Walzer Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year, $5,900 due at signing, then PC 261725.
This is Bob Sansevere, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. Chris Egert joins us. How you doing, Pally?
Good, how are you?
Never better.
Happy Friday.
Except I thought it was going to be sunny today, and now it's going to rain off and on all day.
Yeah, but it's not like a washout. It's just a little spritz here and there.
Yeah, but the neighbors got together. We're going to all sit out tonight, maybe grill out something. There are like, 10, 12 of us, something like that. I don't think we can do that because we might get rained on.
Well, Kenny B says it gets better as the day goes on for what it's
does
worth.
it really?
Yeah.
So we might still be able to get together and hang out
Yeah,
with our neighbors?
I wouldn't call it off just yet.
And by the way, I still am going to do that. I want to set it up probably in June, maybe July, but probably June, I would think.
Okay.
I want to have all you guys come over. Everybody on the show I'd like to invite over, and I'll invite all the neighbors and stuff. There'll be about probably 20 of us total. I think you'd have a ball. You'd love it.
That sounds fun. I'm into
it. I live on a cul-de-sac, so there's no traffic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get to work on that. But yeah, I want all you guys to come to that. That'd be great.
Would you like us to bring any sides?
No, I'm good. You know what my new favorite side is, by the way? I'm not kidding. You like what?
No, go ahead. What's your favorite side?
Golden Valley Country Club the other night. We had dinner. Golden Valley. They have Thai Brussels sprouts.
Ooh.
Holy God, are they good. I'm having them again tomorrow, baby. That's all I know. I got to get the recipe. They are phenomenally tasty.
Here's the deal with Brussels sprouts. Like, I'm sure that's great. And I know my stepdad everybody makes a Brussels sprouts thing with like, you dump 4 gallons of olive oil on it. You like take bacon and like, you have to do so much to make Brussels sprouts not taste like Brussels sprouts.
That's true. You're 100%.
You like burn them and like you set them on fire, sit them in the ground for 10 years. All these kinds of crazy things.
No, you're right. Straight up Brussels sprouts, I do not like. Not even close to liking straight up Brussels sprouts. But once you move her over into that, what would they put on a Thai Brussels sprout? Because there's no it doesn't look like there's a sauce on them or anything. Maybe there is, but they're all, real burned crispy, like you were talking. So I don't know what the hell it is. I'll have to find out. Just absolutely delicious.
Sounds really good.
Indeed.
Cinco de Mayo today. You guys celebrating?
Remember we used to have, what we did the first years of the KQ Morning Show? Every year on May 5th, we'd have a Latin dance party.
Ooh.
Fun.
And you know where it was? It was at Jose's. What do you think? Went to Jose's bar and did the Latin dance party, baby. It was wonderful.
Fun.
I, because of Amy Kerr, wore a sombrero every year.
I'm sure you look like Grumpy Cat in it.
I look just exactly like Grumpy Cat. You're absolutely right. 100% correct. Look at me, crabby, wearing a sombrero.
It's raining around you somehow.
Jose's, man. Those were the days. But next year, we'll do a Latin dance party on this show. It'll be fantastic.
I'll wear a poncho.
Oh, nice.
You should wear a poncho. Oh, I wanted to ask you a question because I saw something on your news report this morning. For some reason of the word field is racist. Have you seen this story? I thought it was on your news where I saw it. They have decided the word field is a racist word. Like what?
Let me pull up a rundown from earlier. I'm not sure what.
Where the hell would that? Brittany's looking it up too. You see the story yet?
No.
It was on. Well, let's see if it wasn't on. Well, it must have been. If it wasn't on Channel 5, then it had to be, because I watched two things. I watched Frank Vassalero on the 4, and then everybody else I watch on the 5, particularly Chris Egert.
Wow.
But yeah, I can't remember who made this. It was some college somewhere decided that the word field was racist.
Really?
I found something from January. The University of Southern California School of Social Work will no longer use the word field because it may have connotations for descendants of slavery and immigrant workers that are not benign, according to a letter from the department.
So it must have passed on to today now, 4 months later.
Yeah, probably spread out. Yeah, I could see that.
Why, like Field of Dreams? So you got to get rid of field at a baseball field. You got to get rid of. What are they talking about?
The letter said, quote, language can be powerful, and phrases such as going into the field or field work may have connotations for descendants of slavery.
There were never any slaves in Minnesota. I'd like to point that out, so it has nothing to do with us anyway, right?
Yeah, I heard the other day that bridge is not allowed to be.
That's not a good one either.
Bridge is now a bridge, not just the word bridge, but a bridge is racist.
Why?
Because the bridges were installed too low so that the buses taking poor people into the city to work could not get around.
Is that true?
I swear to God, yeah.
I never knew that.
Yep.
So bridge is now a bad word.
Bridge, it's a bad word and a bad thing.
How about low bridge?
I was like, aren't we building bridges? That's what we're trying to do here,
building
right?
Yes, building bridges, trying to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me field that question for you.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Oh, great. Canceled.
Look, all of these people need to shut up because you're causing misery is all you're doing.
Well, and it takes away from real divisive language,
Absolutely.
right? So it's like now you're getting to the point where we're all rolling our eyes. Like if something was really bad that you say, okay, we shouldn't say that anymore. All right, no problem. But then you throw this out there. Oh, what? And what?
Look, this is what's upsetting.
What?
When you're a little boy going to St. Joe's School and one of your classmates finds out your mother's 100% German and then refers to you as an effing kraut. You know what I mean? That did happen to me, by the way. Effing kraut. And the guy was serious, too, by the way. Because it was, this is back, 20, 30, well, not even 30, 20 years after World War II. So apparently grandpa or dad or somebody still hated their krauts. And because my mother was German, I was now a kraut. So if you think that all hatred is pointed at just skin color, you're nuts. Yeah, there's religious.
No, that is a great point. There's lots of hate to go around.
Oh, God, yes. And none of it's good, so shut up, all of you. Right?
Yeah, I can't find that we had a story on that this morning, Tom.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. So I must have seen it on the national news.
But I was, in interest of full disclosure, I got to sleep in today, so I'm just in for 9 o'clock. So I didn't have to do the morning news today. I just got up and watched it. And yeah. You know what? You guys know this now. Oh my God! I woke up at 5:45 and I'm like, "Holy crap! This is like a whole new world."
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I still cannot get used to driving to work with the sun up. I have not done it in 37 years.
For sure. I'm like,
really
what
weird.
The hell is going on? And I'm like, there's traffic on the roads, and it's crazy.
I got to tell you something I saw this morning, though. A lot of these national news people now, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They're just kind of cute faces, and national news now is dreadful. It's just bad, right? So I'm tooling around this morning, seeing if I'm missing anything, because I don't watch it for very long. I just see if anything important's going on.
Yep.
And I don't know if I can even pronounce it the same way that she did. But there's this one woman who's extremely annoying on one of the. Everything is. She talks over everybody. She's got all these brilliant things. She's terrible, right? And this morning she introduced their guest, and I have to get how she said. Wozniak, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very special guest, Steve Wozniak.
She didn't know Steve. Really?
Wozniak. She thought his name was Wozniak. You know who she was talking about?
Well, yeah.
Wozniak, the Apple guy. Exactly. She called, what was it again? Wozniak? Yeah, Wozniak. That's what she called him.
Oh,
how do you not know who Steve Wozniak is?
Like, take a beat. Go Google it. They will tell you.
Rudy,
this is my deal with, like, if we don't know something, like I regularly make phone calls in the middle of the night to XYZ to like listen to the voicemail, or I've called the most random towns because I had no idea how to say. I mean, like, we have information at our fingertips now. There's really not a lot of excuses for stuff like that.
No, I agree. And I don't know. How do you not know who he is, though? I mean, the guy's one of the most well-known people in the business, isn't he?
Yes,
I would think.
That's what's. Yeah. Funny story. I was calling one of those. I was trying to get the last name of a state senator.
Oh yeah.
Several years ago, or state a House representative. I can't remember, but what I believed I was calling their office in St. Paul. No, it was a cell phone, and the person answered the phone.
Oh
at
God!
2:30 in the morning.
That'll happen. That'll happen, no problem.
I mean, what a good politician though, who answers the phone when a constituent calls, even in the middle of the frickin' night.
Do you guys still text to this day?
Yeah, I just got a text from right now, actually.
He's like, "What are you up to?"
I have a question, because somebody's telling me now that people will only text. They will not answer their phones. They'll only text you back.
They won't. Well, people won't answer their phones.
They don't answer their phone. They wait until you leave a message, then they text you back.
I do not like if I call you, and unless you're Rudy, this happens with Rudy all the time. He's in doing a show or whatever and shoots a text, what's up, whatever. But if I call you and there's no reason you can't call me back and throwing me a text later, no. I was you have to match the energy. Right.
I mean, that's it. I just, why don't people want to talk? They don't want to talk anymore. They only want to text or email. And they don't want to email anymore either. I heard that. From younger people don't like emailing either.
Yeah, they're all about the texting.
Yeah, it's all about texting, right?
It's funny because I think about this with my own kids. They're smart kids. They both get A's, blah, 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 blah.
So they're like your wife?
Yes,
That's
obviously.
Okay, it's a given.
So when the phone rings, this little piece of machinery that they have in their hands all moments of every day, when that thing rings, it's like they don't even know what to do with it. They're
It's true. You're absolutely right about that. That is true.
I'm like, here's what you do. You slide it over and you go, hello, can I help you?
Who is it?
My God.
I know. So why do you think that is? Because you're teetering on that generation. Why do you think it is they don't want to talk on the phone?
Well, I have had many experiences with you where I shoot you a text and then you call me.
I do.
And that's sometimes daunting. You go, whoa,
Why?
whoa. I don't know, because I wasn't expecting a call at that moment.
Daunting?
Yes, daunting. But I have found out time and time again, a lot of times a call can solve something hours quicker than text.
There's no doubt about it.
If it's a complex thing, I had a call yesterday and I was like, this would have taken forever via text. And so I'm glad that person called me.
Yeah.
It was actually Melissa, your daughter-in-law.
Right.
She was calling about some social media thing. And I was like, she's like, sorry, I would have texted you. But I was like, no, we would have been texting for 20 minutes.
Exactly right.
So,
and plus the fact, we talk for a living. Why wouldn't you want to talk?
Yeah.
That's what we do for a living. I mean, you don't text for a living.
Have you ever accidentally FaceTime somebody instead of calling them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the worst feeling ever.
Most definitely I have done that.
Oh, it's the worst feeling ever when you've accidentally, there's something about the accidental FaceTime. They're like, why did you FaceTime me? And you're like, I did not mean to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We weren't supposed to see each other right now.
Right. We'll get through it. It's just a different way of communicating. But yeah, they apparently don't even want to email. They only want to text. Which is that just the easiest way? Is that what that is?
I don't know. I suppose yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the easiest way.
Yeah, but look, when you type it in, it's like, it's okay. But if you say to somebody on the phone, "I'm coming for you," doesn't that have a much better impact than just reading that?
Mm-hmm. I remember. I don't know what year this was, but I was helping you with something on your phone, and I looked. I was like, "Do you know you have 1,000 text messages?" And you're like, "I don't check that. I don't know."
I don't ever check my text messages.
Now you do.
Now I wipe them out.
Now But back in the day, you're like, I don't. And so it's so funny. People be like, "Well, I texted Tom." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not going to get you anywhere."
The problem with texting and me is 99.9% of the emails and texts I get are, well, come on down and have a biscuit and then go next door and buy a car. It's always to sell something now. Like, leave me alone, for Christ's sake.
I know it's like every time I look down, there's another text for some kind of alternative to Viagra. And...
nonstop.
Awkward.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's such a pain in the ass. Well, let me see. Let me see if I have any emails on my phone right now. I don't know if I do. I got a bunch of messages from the sales department. That's one thing I got. We have to cut a commercial after the show today, Rudy, if you got a minute.
Yep.
Oh, you knew about it already?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I only have one email this morning, and it's from, what a shock. It's from Pat Eberts.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
He also
the sales
wants,
department.
He also wants your money, but just not directly.
Yeah, exactly. Just not a direct situation like that. So are there any big stories going on that we should look at for today?
Well, we're doing a story about light rail safety, and there's another effort to try to clean up the light rail because.
You know what's hilarious about that? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're not talking about accidents. You're talking about getting your ass kicked.
What do you mean?
Well, you said the light rail's a little dangerous. It's not because they might get in an accident.
Not cars running into it, but actually getting on the light rail.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of discussion about that the last couple of days, and they're trying to throw more money at the problem. And
what will money do for the problem, Chris?
I don't know. Try to put more. I mean, ideally, I think they want to put like actual law enforcement officers on the things, which would make sense, right?
They have to.
I know there's been a lot of volunteer groups have been doing it, and Twin Cities Men's Movement is an organization that has volunteers on the trains, but Metro Transit Police really want to try to get more actual officers on the trains, which does make sense to me. Like, I'm sorry. I think the volunteer thing is great that people are trying to do something.
Right.
But I don't know, unless to me there's like a real threat of getting arrested, what are you really going to do to somebody?
Well, unless you're Curtis Sliwa.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you wear your beret on there.
Yeah, like I'm going to beat your ass. Like that's a whole other thing. But, and then there's this is a huge story.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, big one.
Here we go.
So apparently an emu escaped from its pen in Washington County.
What?
Out in Washington County in Grant, and it wanted to go make love to a Frisbee golf pole.
Of course it did.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
It was confused that it just outside of its fence, there's apparently something like one of those Frisbee golf net. You know what they look like? Kind of old,
yes, sir. Yep.
If you're kind of like looking at it out of the corner of your eye and maybe you're squinty and think about that, how it does kind of maybe have an emu shape.
Kind of like a sexy emu if you blow your eyes a little.
Yeah. Very, very well-rounded emu.
Yeah.
But apparently...
Okay.
Apparently, the emu escaped, and there was a kerfuffle out in Washington County for them to round up the emu.
I love kerfuffle. I love that word.
They are scary. Emus are scary.
Are they really?
Yeah, and they do that noise, that kind of like guttural noise, and they're huge. They're terrifying.
What's the one on TV? Emu. What's that one?
Oh, Legal
Emu, and Doug. Is that the one you're talking
about?
about?
Oh my God!
Though.
No,
it's
but
something else.
It's
something like
legal
that.
emu or like emo.
Emu. That's what it is. Somebody just told me it's emu. So I don't know what limu means, but
that makes me not want to buy that particular brand of insurance.
You don't like that guy?
I don't mind Doug, but the emu thing just annoys me.
I hate the emu. All right.
I'm like, and I hate
understand.
that little lizard too. I'm like, shut up. I don't
Geico.
Tell me my freaking insurance is going to be good and the rates are going to be low. And when I get in an accident, I'm going to be able to freaking get my car fixed in like a week and not 10 years. I don't give two rats about your little lizard.
Whoa.
And why does it have a
negative.
freaking accent?
It does have an accent. You're absolutely right.
This is revved up, Chris. Geico lost their mind for a couple years and had about 40 different
cavemen and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they had like every sort of. They're like, let's throw a lot at the wall and see what sticks.
I didn't mind the cavemen.
You didn't mind the cavemen? You like the cavemen, do you?
Strong feelings about
That's really good.
the freaking lizard guy, but the caveman, chill.
One more thing's annoying me this morning since we're
here we go.
Open the floodgate.
We're in a space of friendship and openness.
Yes, we are.
So state lawmakers, they've been trying to do this for years. They finally passed a measure to name Highway 5 through Chanhassen by Paisley Park, Prince Rogers Memorial Highway.
Good.
Wow.
They should.
Okay, they've been talking about this for years. They've been trying to do it. Blah, 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 blah. Purple signs along the way, and the whole bit. So yesterday at the state legislature, where, by the way, they've still got like 1 billion things to do.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Like really important things to do. That like a bunch of them are like using Prince lyrics to like read the statute or whatever. And they're they're like, dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to vote on this thing called Highway 5.
Yeah.
It's stupid. And I'm like,
I love that. You're very good at that.
I was so annoyed. I'm like, dude, shut up with the grandstanding. Freaking rubber stamp this and then go back and get to work on all these other 10 trillion things that need to be done.
I could see that, absolutely.
They need that soundbite. They're like convinced that's the thing. They're like, this is going to go out. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to be viral for about a half second. Oh, yeah.
It got a little weird.
How much time did... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, the representative from District 7 made it weird when she was like, I met a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she was a sex fiend. Everyone was like, what is going on here?
Yeah. That's not the vibe.
There you have it. All right, Palomino, get off your... So you don't have to work until 9 o'clock for another 15
I'm here at
minutes.
7 so I can start writing because, Tom, I like to know my material.
Yeah,
Oh,
you seem
God.
like it.
I've never liked
But
you.
I don't care to talk to my coworkers for the first half hour, though.
Oh,
Oh, so you're Brittany part 2.
By the way, Chris, do you know who you look like? You look like somebody that used to be attractive.
Oh,
What?
shut up.
Wait a minute. Oh, you mean from yesterday?
Yesterday,
Yeah,
yeah.
from yesterday. I do remember that.
Brittany's texting me yesterday about this, and I'm like, stop.
Brittany's
it still
mean.
pisses me
Let's
off.
be honest. She's a very mean person.
You look like somebody who used to be hot. That's cool for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's super cool. Thanks.
All right, Chris, we will talk to you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Pally. Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Chris Egert. We'll take a break, be right back. Maybe a special guest coming in studio.
Ooh.
We're going to find out. This time, we have a new sponsor of the show, and it's a family business, which is my favorite kind of business. The owner lives here. His name is Tom Dean. I'm talking about 2 great businesses that are serving their customers as one, Power Lodge and Miller Marine. Whatever power sport or marine product you're looking for, it all starts at the Lodge, Power Lodge. Receive the incredible shopping experience you're looking for, and it just so happens that both these stores are kicking off the warm outdoor season with a sale this week. Save money and win stuff during the Power Sale through Saturday, May 6th. That's tomorrow, of course. With Power Lodge and Miller Marine, they're in Brainerd, Ramsey, Onamia, and Miller Marine, of course, is in St. Cloud. Save on all pontoons with entry-level brands, starting at $19,990, and that includes pontoon, motor, and trailer. You're going to hear a lot about Power Lodge and Miller Marine from me in the coming months. A lot. I love this stuff, man. I got to get a pontoon, don't you think?
Yeah, you do.
I really do have to get a pontoon. How about Lake Riley? It's not that far from my house. Should I put it on Lake Riley?
I live right next to Lake Riley.
See, so I should do that.
Yes, please.
That's a nice lake, though, isn't
It's
it?
so nice. We go on it all the time. Oh my God, I'm so excited for us. Hot Mom Summer.
You're right. Level brands, entry-level brands starting at $19,990, and that includes pontoon and motor and trailer. You're going to hear a lot about Power Lodge and Miller Marine from me in the coming months, but during this week's Power Sale, go to any location and get some throttle therapy. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I like that.
I like throttle therapy.
Me too.
On Land and Water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them that Tommy sent you.
We were talking about Limu Emu. It's because it's Liberty Mutual. So that's why it's Limu Emu.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So that makes more sense.
Limu Emu.
We got a message from Howard giving me the heads up of why it's Limu Emu.
Yeah, I did notice there that Chris Egert was very heated about the types of gimmicks that Geico uses. But everything we threw at him, Limu Emu and Geico and the caveman, he knew exactly which insurance company we were talking about. So maybe the marketing geniuses at some of these insurance companies know exactly what they're doing.
I would say yes, except the emu one I don't think hit right because we could not remember what that one was for.
Yeah.
Like Limu and Liberty Mutual does not flow super well, but
Also, why Doug? Who is this guy? Did he come from? Are they just making him up? Are they throwing him in there? Was there a old?
they couldn't get Sprinthal, that's why.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Here we go.
It's my fault. You're late. I was forcing you to talk to me about our new pontoon life we were going to have.
I don't care at all about being late. If you got to go to the bathroom, you got to go to the bathroom. It's part of living.
I'm just telling you how excitable I got about the idea
the idea of the pontoon.
of the idea of the pontoon
Yes, I understand.
on Lake Riley.
I understand. No question about it.
Get on that, Power Lodge.
So you want me to get on it?
Yeah, that's pretty much me saying reach out to Tom and ask for money because we're going to need him to buy us a pontoon.
We'll get it done for you, sister. I promise.
Thank you.
All right, what else? Everything else good?
You guys, I'm not going to lie. When we were talking about Steve Wozniak, I thought he died. I don't know why. When we were
disappeared.
Is that why?
He kind of like disappeared, so I could see why you would think he might be dead.
Didn't he date Kathy Griffin for a while, too?
Did he really?
Yeah, I feel like that was another weird Steve Wozniak thing.
Maybe, yeah. Kathy, she's an even keel person.
Right?
No
She
doubt about
actually has
that.
come back recently.
Oh, she's not nuts anymore?
And has calmed down quite a bit and has kind of been like, yeah.
Didn't she like behead a
Trump doll when he was president?
Trump doll? He beheaded it and set it on fire or
Not
something?
great. Not great.
Like I said, if you hate Trump, that's your business. You hate Biden, that's your business.
And,
But
like-
you set him on fire?
Okay, what I love,
Jesus.
and I've always loved this. I don't care. You want to kneel during the national anthem. You want to set everything on fire. What I love is that we can do that
Yeah, I
in
agree.
this country.
I agree.
And we're not put in prison or death. So in some aspects, I go, God, we're a cool country. At the same time, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? Like on a personal thing, you go, gulp. I could never, like, I'm trying to think of like an enemy I have, like actually don't like in person and filming a video.
I don't have anybody like that.
No.
I don't dislike anybody enough to actually hate them. I'm not going to waste hatred on somebody. Who cares? Right?
I cannot. We had some interesting emails about people talking about texting, and
Yes, ma'am.
Tom had a really good one. He said, Brittany, I've always said that the biggest problem with texting is that you can't read emotion. Something written can be read as two completely different emotions, like you're coming over, your response, oh, really?
Oh, really?
And I thought that was a really good point. I don't know if you've ever been in an argument via text, but it can get next leveled real quick.
Nope. Never done that, and I never will do that. I don't care enough about it. People get way too whipped up about nothing for my taste. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Why people get so damn upset, I just will never understand. Calm down, right?
Yeah, I mean, a text argument gets, you read into it the worst way possible, so.
Oh, somebody put the pot back.
Oh, nice.
That's a bottle of pot pills right there.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't?
It looked like
You want them?
allergy pills.
Oh, do they?
They look like little
No,
like
they're not
little.
allergy pills. They're totally different.
It's going to be a different experience when I take them for allergies.
You want them?
No.
Why not?
Last time I ingested weed. I had to take out the person because I realized I shouldn't include. I said weed.
Yeah, probably
me.
not. You probably don't want to include that.
I don't want to loop them in my problematic statement. Last time I ingested pot, I lost my goddamn mind.
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
Because most people get very relaxed.
Yes, and I had a
You get
great
all whipped
experience.
up, do you?
I had a great experience with half a gummy, and then I did a whole gummy, and I overthought everything that's ever happened to me in the history of ever.
That's a big part of it, isn't it? To overthink everything.
Hours
You're
of
right.
laying in bed, just wishing I could fall asleep, but going, well, remember that time that you said that obnoxious thing in that group? Oh, remember the time you did this? Remember the time you accidentally said,
Remember the time. I love that song.
Remember.
It's all true. So what else is happening in the news? Anything good?
Blink 182 played St. Paul last night, and it was their first show for their new tour. And Tom DeLonge had not been with the group for a while, and he came back and played with them, and people are saying it was an amazing concert.
And where was it? You said in St. Paul, but where? Do you know where it was?
Oh, I'm sure it was XL, right?
Okay, they're big enough to sell that out?
Yeah, I think people my age are really nostalgic for them, and I'm pretty sure it was sold out, but I'm not sure. I'd love if somebody messaged in who went, but there was a review on it, and people were saying it was really good.
Marvelous, great. Yeah, I tell you what, I haven't been to a concert in a long, long time. The last one I went to was Adele over at XL.
How did you like it?
She was phenomenal.
And did you like? Because the thing is, I like Adele as well, but
Adele as well, huh?
But the problem is I feel like she hits the same kind of vibe for all of her songs, but you didn't find yourself over it. You were loving it the whole time.
No, I thought she was terrific. And one of the reasons I liked her so much, because she sat there the whole time between songs, drank a drink, and smoked a cigarette, and dropped the F-bomb about 7,000 times.
She has got an enchanted voice. So her swearing must have been...
And the F-bomb. She loves the F-bomb, I will tell you that.
Doesn't, though.
Yeah, you're right.
We should just make the F-bomb completely legal and cool to say, because it's a good one.
No, it works for me. There's no question about it. Okay, now I'm going to run down a top 5 things that should be a part of everyone's morning routine.
Okay.
Now, does that include people, well, although we don't get up early anymore. We get up about the same time everybody else does, don't we now? About 6 o'clock, something like that?
I feel like that, yeah. I mean, I'm going to be embarrassed by this because my routine is short.
Very short?
Yes. Minimal.
Brush your teeth and then you throw on some old raggedy-ass clothes and come on in.
Flip my underwear inside out
from
the day
absolutely.
before.
All right, according to a poll of our morning routines, 42% of us make our beds. I made my bed this morning. I did that.
I didn't.
Only 64% of us brush our teeth. Did
What?
you know? Yeah.
That's
1/3 of
low.
people did not even brush their teeth.
That's literally, and when I'm getting out of the house,
That wouldn't be good.
that's the low bar, and that's the only thing. Like, I'm aiming for brushing my teeth, feeding the dogs. Those are my.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, if I only can do 2 things.
43% of us eat breakfast, but one thing that we can all benefit from when we get out of bed is anything on today's list of the top 5 things that should be a part of everyone's morning routine. And one thing I love about stories like this, the top 5 things, but there are 10 of them. Okay, well, some of them are jokes. That's why.
Don't.
Please don't write jokes anymore.
Just tell us it.
Well, here you go. The top 5 things that should be a part of everyone's morning routine. A 5th of scotch. Get it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
A bowl of cereal with a manic animal on it. No, see, these are all jokes, and they're not funny jokes.
It's okay. So ignoring that stupid list, I used to do all the things. Used to wash my face, whatever, and all these things. Now it's like, if I can get mascara on my eyes, that's a big win. If otherwise, I set out my clothes the night before.
What do you mean if you can get it on your?
Like, I mean, otherwise I don't even touch makeup. I'm at the point where we're radio.
But are sometimes you miss your face?
No,
with the
I
makeup?
just mean like if that was just a drastic way of saying that's my version of makeup in the morning.
Drastic, I say.
I get out. I mean, I wake up at 5:45 and I try to get out of the house by 6:10. It's a short. And if Go-Go's not up yet, then it's a really short. It's short. My morning routine is.
Yeah.
You like a good wake up. You walk around.
I do.
You watch things.
I do. I walked a mile and a half right when I got up.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I don't do any of
Then
that.
I started drilling the wall right behind you. Why are they always working on this area of this building?
Because ever since we did reconstruction, they're like, oh, that's a great idea.
Oh, well, Tom put that window in, so why don't we do that?
Trendsetters.
Someone dumped 500 pounds of cooked pasta where? 500 pounds of cooked pasta. Don't forget that part. Where did they dump it?
500 pounds. Okay, I was going to say something big like the Grand Canyon, but that wouldn't even make an effect. So,
No.
In a pond.
In the woods.
Why?
Why? I don't understand it anyway. I don't get it. If I was walking through the woods and saw this, I think there'd been some sort of glitch in the matrix. Someone found 500 pounds of cooked pasta next to a river in New Jersey last month, and no one knows where it came from. It's possible a restaurant or a caterer had a last-minute cancellation or something, but that's still a lot of pasta. I mean, 500 pounds is a lot of pasta.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one type. There were piles of spaghetti, macaroni, and penne, too. There are actually photos of the cooked pasta.
Oh, good, because I was going to say I'm having trouble wrapping my brain around like what that looks like.
Okay, I'll click on a picture just to see if there's any indication of how good it is and blah blah blah. Oh, it's on Twitter, so I can't.
Oh, it's like, okay, it kind of looks like...
Oh, it looks horrible.
Yeah, it looks really spooky. I would think it's worms. I would freak out.
Oh, that definitely looks like worms. There's no doubt about that. You are 100% correct about that. Yeah, I wouldn't care for that. Happened in the town of Old Bridge, New Jersey, just out of New York. It's making headlines after a woman who recently ran for city council shared the pics. She criticized the mayor for ignoring the mess. The city did end up removing the pasta, though, and she also saw the humor. Can we talk a little louder out there? That'd be great. Saw the humor in it. She called it a mission impossible.
You know, not a pun guy, are you? You don't find that very punny.
Not a pun guy.
Yeah, that's rough.
She's not the only one cracking jokes, though. Someone online joked that whoever did it should be sent to penitentiary. How you doing? How's everything going? No, he can come and sit in here, too, if he wants. You waved him off. That was real nice, man. Don't encourage him. Be a bad idea. No, but he is more than welcome to sit in here. We know sitting out there by himself.
Yeah, come on in.
Yeah, Dave, come on in. We don't
Cowboy dance.
Sitting out there by yourself, all the rest of it.
Use those?
As long as those work.
What's your name?
Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi,
Tom.
Jay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
God, I was trying to think. The last time I saw you in studio, I was working. I did a morning show here for 37 years in Minneapolis, and you came into the studio probably 20 years ago. I bet you it was that long ago.
I don't think so.
Oh, you came in studio one time, I remember.
First time I played here was like last year.
How you doing? First time ever?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, Jay, can you get right up on that microphone in front of you, bud?
Hey, now.
There it is. Oh, listen
Hey
to that
now.
velvety voice.
When's
Yeah.
Beetlejuice come out?
Didn't Beetlejuice already come out? How you doing? How's
I
everything?
thought he died.
Beetlejuice? I thought he died too.
The guy from the Howard Stern show?
Oh, him. Yeah, that's a different
Yeah.
God,
Thankfully,
Howard.
no.
How's Howard doing? Is he still wearing a mask at the house?
I don't.
He like suited up and stayed home, man. It was weird. So how, everything's been good?
Yeah, man. Everything's
Glad to hear
great.
it. I'm glad to hear that. Same with us too. We're doing this now is a whole different deal. After I started doing a show when I was 18 years old, a talk show on the radio.
Oh, I've read your file, Tom.
Oh, whoa. By file? What do you mean by file?
You're a legend, dude. You have a Yorkie?
No, but I wish.
There's a Yorkie on
Oh, yeah. Somebody gave me the sticker. I thought it was cute. I wish.
I wish I had. I have a Yorkie.
I had one growing up. What's yours named?
Mabel.
Oh, that's
Mabel.
so...
If you put a bag on the ground, she crawls inside it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Backpack,
yeah.
paper bag.
Like a purse you'd get right in.
Right in it. She loves to travel.
That's
Okay,
like
here we go.
We had one named Zoe growing up.
That's good.
In love. Now I have big, huge dogs that I
love
run
Yorkies.
with.
They're always like little pepper pots.
I know
They
they're
are indeed.
so cute, and they'll like sleep right on your shoulder. Like mine always curled up right there.
Mine's under right here.
Oh,
on my bicep.
yeah.
Okay, you guys are pissing off Jude now.
Well, Jude's
We got a
bigger
dog
than a
at the house.
Yorkie. Yeah.
Not much.
No.
Not much. We've had the same dog now for about 10 years, my wife and me.
What kind of dog is Jude?
Cavalier King Charles.
Oh, I love King Charles. They're so fancy.
You know what? Well, you know what's amazing about this dog though, because we have these seats in our house.
You have seats in your house, Tom?
Well, I mean, like
Place
theater
to sit
seats.
down?
I should have said theater seats.
pretty
yeah,
tight.
you know what? I kind of skipped over
You're doing
one
it right
part.
for yourself.
What a
We're
flex.
gonna get a table next, which is gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah,
It'll
but you don't want to be
amazing.
a show off, you know?
Well, that's exactly right. But yeah, we have like 4 theater seats. We got 8 total theater seats downstairs, and we sit down and watch television because a couple of hours maybe here and there. And my wife has to sit in the one two seats to my right, and then Jude sits in the one in the middle, and then I sit on the one on the left. We cannot move around. You will sit here, and you will sit there, and then I'm going to sit in the middle seat.
Jude
Getting really pushy.
My Yorkie's 17 years old.
17, really, because Jude's 11.
That's her flapping her tongue. That's saying I was ready for bed.
She's got the lack of teeth. Is that what she
No
has?
teeth to hold it in.
Oh, I love that.
Little Mabes.
Mabe.
Little Mabel.
I love the white.
I had an assistant once say, I think Mabel makes fun of you by calling you by your name. Okay, John.
Okay.
I like when you learn people's dog voices on Zoom when they don't know they're unmuted.
Totally.
You just hear like, oh, who wants a treat?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of that.
It's like, Harold, your mic is on? Oh, who wants a treat?
Little puppy. I like it when people go, little puppy.
The babies.
That's a good look.
Oh,
Right
hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, Friday, May 5th, which is today, and Saturday, May 6th, which is tomorrow, 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. House of Comedy, Mall of America. I love that venue. I do. I love that venue.
It's a great club.
Plus, you can buy whatever the hell you want. You don't have to go outside.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Ride the roller coaster, House of Mirrors. Get a tattoo.
You can also get stabbed. It'll be wonderful.
Buy some seats.
Yeah, you can buy some seats.
We learned that Tom has chairs in his house.
We have 8 chairs.
8 chairs.
They're all lined up. One's like, a little higher than the other. It's really unbelievable. It's an amazing situation.
I'll be over at noon.
You can be over anytime. I'm going because I am going home right after this. On Fridays, I get to go home early, so I'm very happy about that.
Do I have to bend over the whole show? Can't you turn it up?
You got actually, Brittany can. Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing, crunched down.
Because
so
you did
much. What's going on?
Here, we got to get some pictures there. Here's Jay Mohr. You know what I? That looks like really uncomfortable. Don't we have another?
Then you're blocking the video feed.
Okay, I'll fix
Yeah, way to
that.
go. Typical.
I'll work on
It's okay. I got new hair. I want to lean into it.
Did you even get a microphone? No. You didn't, did you?
I don't need one.
Why not?
Because he's loud.
What if I want to talk to you for an extended period of time?
Cowboy Dan.
Cowboy Dan. I saw the hat. So, Cowboy Dan, where are you from?
I live in L.A. now.
You live in L.A.?
I was born in L.A., moved away young.
Oh, you did? You moved away?
Yeah.
Did you go to prison?
Been there, Tam.
He's got the look, man.
Can't come with me to Canada.
I'm just telling you flat out, where I grew up, Dan would fit right in.
They wouldn't let him in Canada.
No.
No.
So, see, we'll just stay away from it. We won't even ask you why you ended up in prison, Dan. It'll be great.
He's a pyro.
Are you really a pyro? You like to light stuff up? It's a very sexual thing. Did you know that, by the way?
Whoa!
Pyromania is a very, very sexual deal. In other words, if you start something on fire, it means you haven't been laid in about 2 years. That's true. I'm not making that up. Why are you staring at me like this? Look at me like, do I have to sit here?
Building I should set on fire.
You're all that fired up about it. Now, so now you didn't get it. Do you want the other mic that he had?
That's okay. He's the important one here.
Well, no, you're all important. Whoops, your earpiece just fell off. Oh, don't worry about it. I thought.
Jeez, you guys are a mess.
I know.
You guys? Why me?
These two.
Oh, those two. Yeah. Okay.
No, you're the man.
So, in any case, ladies and
We
gentlemen,
just squeeze these people out. Me and you would have a great time.
that'd be a whole different setup. Exactly. Well, so that's good because I've been a fan for years. I suppose people tell you that all the time, though, don't they?
Not enough.
Where did you first break through, and how long ago was that?
Well, I started doing stand-up at 16 in New Jersey, but it was like the comedy boom. It's like, in that book Outliers, they explain like how everything has to overlay and the interlocking of all these different Lego pieces have to click together. Like the comedy boom in like the late 80s and early 90s was insane. There was just comedy everywhere. So right when you did stand-up comedy, people were like, well, come with us. I did stand-up on a Sunday for the first time, and then people said, what are you doing Wednesday? Come with us. We're going to all be at Hackensack. And then on Wednesday, they said, what are you doing Saturday? So then, boom, right away, I found my tribe.
That's great.
And then I was, 22 miles from Manhattan. So then the natural progression was to go to Manhattan. And then started driving like to Buffalo, New York, 8 hours for $50. I think that's missing these days from up-and-coming comics. They just want to, edit clips on Instagram, and they don't know what it's like to just put in that road work. And then I started doing stand-up. I got a job on MTV, and then Saturday Night Live was the big, like, you've been knighted. Like, you have a line on you have an intro for the rest of your life. If I do the Tonight Show, it's still my introduction.
Oh, I could see that, absolutely.
And I was never a cast member. I was a featured performer. Right. But it's still like, this next guy, it's like being governor, Tom. When you're done being governor, they still introduce you as, governor.
Yeah, you are still president, governor. Yeah,
governor, you want some more coffee?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
It's really legitimate.
I think it's very cool, though.
Yeah, and then Jerry Maguire, of course, is just when the levee broke, I guess.
That was a hell of a movie.
My first movie.
That was your first movie.
I auditioned to be the quarterback first. And then in my audition, I completely blew my southern accent. It was really, I was just all over the ice. And I'm really good at voices and dialects. And I was like, well, I'll tell you one thing about that. Just sounded like a NASCAR driver. We got to get the rubber side down. That's our ambulance. And then after I blew, I still got a call back. And then I blew that one. And they said, while I was still in the room, do you know the part of the male nanny? And I said, yeah, because the script was fantastic. And I said, sure. And they said, well, can you read for that? I said, yeah, whatever. Like, I'll do anything in this movie. And they said, well, the sides are out in the hallway. We'll give you like a couple minutes to just look at it and come back in. But here's the outlying situation was in the audition scene and in the movie, there's a part where Tom Cruise is about to go out with Renee Zellweger, and the male nanny goes, but I want you to use this. And you think he's going to hand him a condom.
Right.
And he hands him a cassette he goes, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, live. I had that cassette.
Did you?
So all the dialogue, the Cameron Crowe dialogue, two masters of jazz, but with Cannonball Adderley on alto sax and an 18-year-old Philly Joe Jones on drums. I knew all that because I was a jazz head. So just by just luck, I actually knew. So I memorized it. I just walked right back in the room. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. So even if I went off script, I was still describing how I felt about that cassette, that CD. And then when I was done with that, they were all just really quiet, like standing around. I remember Jim Brooks was leaning against his desk, and he goes, how about sugar? And I remember everybody else just kind of nodded, like, yeah. Like nobody else wanted to bring it up. And then they gave me a week to learn the Bob Sugar part. And then I learned after the fact, the reason they were all quiet was because they already had an offer out to Owen Wilson because they did Bottle Rocket with Jim Brooks. So they had to rescind his offer, which never happens.
So you get along really well with him now, I bet.
I never met Owen Wilson, but I would love to meet him. Like, what are we doing? I'm just hanging with Tom and talking about chairs and seats.
Yeah, see, this could be Owen Wilson, not me. Think about that.
This is great.
It could have been much better than
You've
it
been
is
doing
right
this so long, Tom. It's just great.
52 years, man.
Really?
52
You look
years
great,
I'm doing it.
buddy.
For me. I was a power lifter for many, many years. Hey, look, I mean, we all realize
Power lifter, eh?
I was for a long, long time.
Is that bad for the heart?
That's why I have lost so far now like 75 pounds.
Good job.
Yeah, you cannot carry that weight around. I'm 71 years old now.
How'd you lose the weight? Because I just lost 35.
No, you look great.
Oh, I was fat. I could put my hands in my pockets naked. I was disgusted.
That's a good line. Now, wait a minute. Is that your line?
Good line.
Cowboy Dan would take pictures of me from the side of the stage, and I would look at the pictures and be like, no, that's impossible.
I know.
Like, I'm that guy? I'm my dad?
Isn't that? Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Absolutely.
And then I lost all my hair, lost my teeth. Look.
Oh my God.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice they can do that now, by the way?
Yeah, and they're like, when are you going to go and get your root canal and get the tooth? I'm like, I'm good.
Wow.
Why would you?
I got the flipper.
That's perfect.
These are all implants. I'm just tired of sitting in the guy's chair.
I know,
For
right?
all three of you, we learned something this morning that this fits right in. 36% of people never brush their teeth.
Really?
Yeah, 36. I
In the
had
morning.
no idea. In the morning. Well,
Yeah.
that means they never do.
That's
My
probably
problem was at night before bed. I'm like, eh.
I'm not doing that. I understand. It all works out.
I made my bed for the first time 50 years old in rehab. First time I ever made my bed was at 50 because I had to or I wouldn't get my ice cream sandwich.
When did you go to rehab?
2021.
2020. Oh, you
2
did?
years, 1 month, 23 days.
Do you have any problem with it?
It's the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Me too.
It's like a timeout for... You went?
I just stopped drinking. I didn't go to rehab.
Oh,
But
it's
I
like,
did go
a
to
timeout for adults. Give me your phone. You can't have it for a month. Sit down, shut up. You get what you get. You don't get upset. And if you're a good boy, I'll give you the ice cream sandwich. You want to watch TV? 1 hour. Then you got to go back to your room like a good boy. But I needed it because I was a baby.
Do you still go through like AA and that kind of stuff?
I rock.
Some people do.
I rock a program.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's helping you out.
It's the greatest thing. I've wanted this my whole life. If I don't show up, everybody asks me where I was.
It also opens a whole new deal because if you don't have a great story about going to a rehab meeting, then you're going to the wrong meetings. Because there are some stories, oh my God.
An intervention is like the worst surprise party ever.
I suppose it is.
You walk in a room and everyone you love and like haven't seen, you're like, hey,
Alex.
oh no!
See, what's wrong with that?
I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I went to an all-men's Christian rehab, beans, rice, and Jesus Christ. I didn't have the heart to tell him. I don't think my recovery. There's a verse in the Bible that's directly correlated to what I'm going through today. But
you're fine. Don't worry about
Armando, my roommate's bothering me. My roommate in rehab was an arsonist. He did 11 years in prison for arson manslaughter, and there was me, a nightstand, and Armando, and there was a candle on the nightstand, but separating me and the arsonist.
A candle?
A candle.
That's a great move.
They were just daring this guy to light me on fire.
The last time I went to an AA meeting was a long time because it wasn't hard for me to stop drinking. I don't know why. I was just, it was explained to me, actually.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very lucky in that situation. I was asked by, I don't know, you a hockey fan at all?
Yeah, sure.
You ever heard the name Louis Nanny? Legendary hockey player. Legendary. He once asked me, Tom, because it's been like 11 years since I stopped drinking, something like that. At the suggestion of this woman, she's really pretty and she's married to me.
Oh.
It's kind of a suggestion.
Sure.
If you know what I'm saying.
Like how they suggest if you leave an airplane to wear a parachute?
Yes, exactly.
That's our suggestion.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. That's 100% what I'm talking about. No, I lost my. So Louis Nanny one time, he's going, hey, Tom, we're all at dinner with our wives and everything. He goes, Tom, it's been how many long years? This last year or so. I said, it's been 10 years since I stopped drinking. He goes, so what do you think is the biggest difference in your life right now? And I said, you want to know the truth? And he goes, yeah. I said, I'm nowhere near as big a prick as I used to be.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, stop being selfish.
I think that's exactly right, because that is all about being selfish.
Feel like I actually care about other people. And
Yep.
I got to get out of myself. I gotta get to my God before my mind gets to me every morning, because if I run the show, it's all over.
It ain't going to work too well.
Yeah, it's just, where do I get more pills?
that.
I was a pillbilly.
Oh, you were.
Why else? Look, that's what the little pocket on your jeans is for,
Yeah,
anyway.
that little tuck pocket. Yeah,
Oh, the
you're
drug
absolutely-
sniffing dogs, they don't care about pills.
Don't you have a stopwatch you need to put in there?
No, my fob.
Your fob.
My pocket fob.
Your pocket fob in there.
I'm a real dandy. Well, what time is it? Well, the train from Yuma comes at 3:10. Off with their head. Seize him.
One of my favorite experiences, we're at an AA meeting one time, and there is a guy in there, and I'm telling you, nailed Elvis Presley. Had the hair, had the clothes, he looked just like Elvis Presley. He was in love with that look, apparently. And we're going through the meeting, and I could see he's getting really agitated. You know, you have people that start shifting in their chair, and they're constantly moving around and all that stuff. And finally, at one point, he stands up, and he goes, "You sons of bitches, you don't understand one thing. I love being a drunk." It's like, whoa.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Okay, Elvis, settle down.
Which album is that off of?
Yeah, wasn't Love Me Tender, I can guarantee you that.
It's off of Blue Hawaii.
Yeah, it's probably Blue Hawaii. That's probably true.
Wow. Usually those are newcomers that start shifting and twitching. I'll do Zoom meetings, and it's like the camera's off. They're like, they put in the chat like, sorry, I was late. It's like, didn't notice.
Could we, you'd have to come under a different name, though, and it'd have to be on the phone. So nobody would. Telling stories about things that you've experienced in AA meetings. There are so many great
Well, it's
stories.
like, I'll sit in a meeting and be because I do like 3 a day.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, it's where all my friends are.
Hey, good for you.
And I love it. And then I'll just be like, all right, this is enough. I'm a little AA'd out, you know.
Yeah.
And then that's when a woman behind me goes, "Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a sex addict." I'm like, "What's that now? What's going on?"
I
This
got
is a good
another
meeting.
42 minutes.
Good meeting. Keep coming back. I'll be back. You gonna be here tomorrow? Because we got to help the newcomers.
Yes, I understand that.
You know how grown-ups show they love each other, Michelle?
Now, what time do you guys have to leave? Because I don't want to stretch out your stuff to them. Do you have to get going?
I got a
in there?
Zoom meeting at 10 that I can do from my phone, so we're all right.
We're good to go?
Yeah.
God, it'd be great to have you around. About 9:30 is be good? Okay, because... Okay,
Do you want to push? We can push back Phil and Kent if you want. For another 10. And then,
Okay.
yeah, that's cool. Because these guys got to roll around 9:30. Then we can get those guys on. We'll
Talking
just
about
tell them
TV's Phil Mackey?
TV's Phil Mackey.
Yep, that's exactly right.
You want to push that guy back? I don't know, man.
There you go.
You know how he gets.
You know how he gets. So what about the break? What should I do?
Oh, we should do the break right now. We'll come
I'll
back.
do the
We'll come
break
back
right
with
now.
Jay. Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
wait a
now.
minute. I'm going to make sure I get this one right.
Are you coloring, Brittany?
No, that's not mine. That's somebody else's. I can't
There we have
multitask that well.
All right, we'll be right back. Just a couple seconds. Jay Mohr in town, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight and tomorrow night, 2 shows. Friday, 2 shows on Saturday, House of Comedy at Mall of America. Right back. More with Jay Mohr.
This is the Tom Bernard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Bernard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made. Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own my Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walzer Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walzer Nissan different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month and tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle? First, there's Walzer Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walzer Nissan. That's peace of mind, and this month you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinders for only $269 per month. You need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So not just Nissan, but Walzer Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you. And ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walzer.com and select the Walzer Nissan store nearest you.
Counter.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Mohr in studio.
It's Cowboy Dan's favorite bit.
I saw him.
I never do it. Like, I always forget to do it because
I was watching him the whole time I was running. You're right. It's his favorite.
He just started giggling right away, which was nice ambiance.
The dolphin encounter becomes very precarious as it progresses. And
I suppose. Yeah. They get a little touchy and feely, did they?
You could say that.
That's what I understand,
You could say somebody made me call him daddy.
Well,
I don't know how much cussing you do on the air.
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
I didn't know how to yell, hey, your dolphin's dick is stuck under my life vest. He's trying to have sex with me.
See, it was well worth it.
So all I got out yelling across the lagoon was, dolphin cock! And the guy looked back at me and goes, that's right, buddy, dolphins rock!
Yeah, dolphins rock!
He shows his tattoo.
That's not what I'm saying! Yeah. They give you an 8x10 photo of your dolphin encounter for free.
I love that.
And it's my mom's photo is... My mom, she had dementia at the time, and she's just sitting completely with it with this dolphin. They got their arms around each other. It's beautiful. And then right next to that is my photo. You can barely see me because of all the white water.
Yes, I understand that.
Oh, no.
I understand that completely. Oh, Rudy, would you do me a favor?
Yeah.
I don't have the intro for
Killebrew?
Judd and I don't have the Killebrew one.
Yeah, let me grab that for you.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. We got you, baseball
Rudy
fans?
looks like a wrestler.
Yeah.
He kind of does, doesn't he? He's got that wrestler look about him.
Yeah, that's like he looks like Emilio Estevez and Brett.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
I'm also wearing a sweatsuit in here right now too, so that.
Oh, I noticed,
obviously,
honey.
Yeah,
The other deal.
He's got the boner sweatpants on.
You know how I know
in case the strip club breaks out.
You know how I know he was never a wrestler? Because I worked out with wrestlers all the time, and they're all dead. Every one of them.
Jesus, that got dark, Tom.
No, I'm just telling you, he's still alive. Oh, that's part of the job, though, man. You ever hung out with wrestlers?
I'm a wrestler.
But I mean, like the big...
like pro wrestlers.
Yeah, pro wrestlers.
I was just talking about like high school wrestling.
No, high school wrestling's great. No,
yeah, those guys, their hearts explode after a while. They're just doing like, they retire, then they're doing drywall in their house, and they choke on a Vicodin and die.
That's pretty much the story right there, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, it's...
Let me tell you something, Daddy. I've dined with king and queen, and I've eaten in alleys with pork and beans.
Love it. I did love that stuff. I really did.
Me too.
By the time I was a little kid.
I TiVo. I record all of those like.
I like TiVo still.
I miss TiVo. That beep, 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 beep.
Exactly.
Then you come home, it's like all your suggestions. You're like, I think my TiVo thinks I'm gay.
Oh, there it is.
TiVo
thinks I'm gay.
It's all house hunters. And it's like TiVo. What are you trying to tell me?
Boy, TiVo. Remember how? Did you actually have? You had TiVo.
Yeah, I miss it.
Did you watch them install it?
Sort of. Yeah, I did.
what are you talking? 700-800 wires? Holy Christ! There are wires everywhere.
Yeah, so you're back in radio.
Yeah,
There's always that one room in radio that looks like a Kubrickian. It's like a Stanley Kubrick room.
Indeed.
Just wires. And you're like, where do these go? They're like, nobody knows. They're like, I don't know.
It's very true.
It's like, this can't be good for my nuts. No more ovaries in that building.
It all works out in the end, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's so great of you guys to come in. I did not expect you to come in. I heard you were coming to town and you were going to be on a show.
Why wouldn't I come in?
Well, I don't know. You know, you guys get
You're a big shot.
roll through.
Shit.
He goes, yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
I know, right? You're like, pause.
No, but it's great. I do always like. Well, and again, in 1986, I took this job at KQRS across. I was there for 37 years. Right?
That's where Steve Gorman is now.
Yeah, that's where Steve Gorman is now. Yeah, that's exactly right. Steve and I've known Steve for years.
Steve's a good dude.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, I left there in December, and then he took the job, I think, in, February?
Oh, he slid into your spot?
Oh, yeah,
That
no.
snake.
No, I got fired, so it was not a big deal. After
Why,
37 years, I got fired.
It's because you're making too much money.
That's exactly
You
why
were
I
a
got
salary
fired,
cap
too.
hit.
You are correct.
It's like, what are we going to do about Ruben Sierra? He's killing us.
That's exactly right. That's very good, Jay. You're the first person that said, you got fired, didn't you, because of salary.
Making too much money.
You got it.
Yeah.
So whatever works. No, I lost my damn...
They did you a favor.
They did do me a
As my
favor.
old manager used to say, you should send them a fruit basket.
They still send fruit baskets. That was
My
like
old
a 40
manager probably does.
That was
When
like
I
a
made,
40 year.
You want to hear a Schnorr story? When I made amends to my manager, I go, and I hope you'll tell me, is there any way I can make it up to you? He goes, did you bring a checkbook? I'm like, oh my God. Way to break the stereotype.
I don't need your apology. Like,
I'm like, me bring a checkbook.
just in the memo, right? Sorry, my bad.
No, I think it's the other way around, but as he taught me, I got to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, you just got to listen.
I don't like
fourth
the fact
step.
that this has come to an end now. That should never have ended. We're just going on and on and on.
Yeah. Well, I'll call in, whatever you want.
Oh, God, I'd love you to call
Yeah.
in. You bring both of them with you?
No.
No, I'm not
Once
going
we hit
to do
LA,
that.
I cut him loose.
That's it. Go away. Get away from me.
He's
That's
the best.
deal.
Saved my life.
No, I said, and I'm
You
very
want to hear a
serious with
Cowboy Dan story?
Yeah.
it. Love to hear
Yeah.
We're driving around Boston in this guy's car, and he goes, hey, are we near the history?
one. Near the history. Oh, you mean the history of the town?
Yeah, it's just like there's a history location. Like this, you want to go see the history?
Yeah.
We're on the corner of history.
Were you talking about the little plaques that they put in the sidewalk?
No, you're giving him too much credit.
Tom's trying to sew this up nicely.
Let me start it with a better one. We're on the airplane watching Tora, Tora, Tora.
Oh, sure.
And I go, I didn't like the movie. Half of it's in Japanese with no subtitles. And he goes, oh, I didn't notice. That's
Cowboy Dan.
my
kind of guy.
sponsor.
Yeah. I
So,
like
Cowboy
that.
Dan, do you know what Torah means?
No.
Torah, Torah, Torah. You know what that means.
Trust me, he doesn't.
He does not know.
I asked him once, I go, how do you know nothing? And he looks at me, he goes, I went through 2 windshields, Jack.
That'll do it. There's it. Can I see the scar? You got one on top of the head?
look at it.
Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, baby.
He looks like
Now
Dylan
we're
Brooks.
talking.
What's Tora Tora mean?
Attack, attack, attack.
Oh, okay,
That's
that
what
makes
Torah,
sense.
Torah, Torah means attack.
They couldn't
attack,
drop that in
attack.
subtitles?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Rehab, they always have the subtitles on TV.
They do.
No, they
That's
just
true.
want to read TV. I remember when I was in detox, I was in there with one other guy that was a fentanyl addict, and he watched The Dark Knight twice a day, every day. And on the 4th day, I came downstairs and I go, "Did you figure it out yet?" He goes, "Not yet." Like I was making a joke, and he was dead serious. His name was Steve. He goes, "Not yet."
People who do a lot of drugs and drink.
I never told that before. You never heard me say that, did you?
That's so.
He's just laying on the couch. He's like, "Not yet."
They're
Still working
different
on it.
things. That's all I have to say, man. But what an honor to have you guys in studio.
Hey, man, I
Seriously,
love
it
you,
was-
buddy. Thank you.
That's very kind of you, Jay. I'm
Come
a
on
huge
out
fan.
to the House of Comedy.
Great.
Second show's a little late, everybody.
And Rudy's gonna open for you,
Yeah,
right?
Rudy's great. He was there last night.
That's awesome.
I
Marvelous.
understand. Here's how it went down. We're in Bryant's car, and somebody calls from the club. They go, "Yeah, Rudy just bellied up to the bar. Should he feature?"
That's exactly what happened.
That's how it, right? Am I lying?
Hey, whatever works.
And
Whatever
just so you
works,
know, his
right?
exact words go. He goes, "That would be great because that's quality." That was his exact words.
That's how he got this
Shit.
job, actually.
Thank you.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm just.
Yeah. I mean, he
Anyway.
watched the whole set yesterday. He still
I
hasn't
thought
seen
they were
it
gonna
yet.
laugh. I just sound like a jerk. You guys left me on an
honest to
island
God.
there.
You guys staring at you.
You guys left me on an island there. Jeez.
No, I got you covered.
We do that a lot.
I was just thinking, you guys want to do a crossover? Because a crossover between you and Ken Hrbek could be pretty damn interesting. You a baseball fan?
Ken Hrbek, he took the E out. HR.
Yeah, he did. HR.
Ken Hrbek.
Yeah.
Ken Hrbek's
What?
with us right now. Oh, you guys got to talk a little while before you go. Huh?
He got so excited. Looks like a little kid right now.
Rudy, whenever you want to tee him up.
He's up, yep.
Hey, Kent,
I'm
you
up.
there?
I'm here.
Jay Mohr is in studio.
God, what's up, dude?
What's happening?
Oh, you talk. I'm like starstruck. I'm blushing. Does he ever ask about me?
He said to me, Tommy, when you going to have Jay Mohr on the show? He's one of the funniest guys in America.
Ken Hrbek.
I said, you're absolutely right. It's great to have you. Phil Mackey with us from Skor North as well. If you guys want to stay for, as long
I'm not
as you
going
want.
anywhere. You brought in the man.
All right. Well, then you two, I think Jay Mohr and Ken Hrbek and Phil Mackey, the three of you should do this sport.
Yes. Three titans of the sports and entertainment world: Jay Mohr, Ken Hrbek, and Phil Mackey. Yes. Yeah.
Kind of falls off after the first one.
Yeah.
So, Jay, I didn't know you were that big a baseball fan. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's America. You got Ken Hrbek on the phone. Stop talking to me.
Okay, I'll shut up. I'm going to sit back and listen. Go ahead. Take it up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Jay Mohr Show with Ken Hrbek and Phil Mackey.
Oh, that'd be the best.
Morning, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for that shout out.
No ladies here. It's just Miss Brittany.
He was talking to me.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, I do have to do the intro. I forgot. I got to
Oh, yeah.
do the intro. Minnesota legend. Why do I always have to say this? Minnesota legend.
Don't have to.
Yes, I do.
Legend, period.
Yeah, you know.
And both of our women's name is Jeannie.
There you go. Minnesota, not anymore.
His
But anyway,
former.
Ixnay AJ.
Oh, that's so.
You know what, Ken? If you had 2,000 hits, maybe it would have worked out.
Oh my God! Hrbek gets attacked. What could be better than
Hey,
this?
I've got 38 stolen bases.
Just pulling the furniture behind you.
This is exactly why I want to say this right now. 35 years ago, we started bringing comedians in to do the show because radio never used to let comedians on. 35 years ago, right? You know that. This is exactly why I said, no, we got to get some comedians in here because of this happening.
Oh, I'm so fired up for Ken Hrbek.
Well, Hrbek's fired up just to hang out with you, too.
Probably
He's never the same. Well, no. When he comes on, when it's just me, he goes, yeah, I suppose you want to talk about baseball. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I got like 2 minutes.
Hey,
But no.
Herbie, why isn't Don Mattingly Hall of Fame, yes or no? You can only have one syllable answer.
May
Wow.
be.
A and B. Yeah.
No, I mean, in your opinion, is he a Hall of Famer?
If he is, I am.
Shit. You're out of your
And
mind.
I'm not.
Aren't you?
And I'm a no.
What?
What are you talking about? He's got the same numbers as Kirby Puckett.
So do I.
Yeah, right.
Goes with, yeah, right.
Look, I'm your
Hey,
biggest
I've got
fan,
one
Herb.
more RBI than Puck.
That's true, he does.
This is unbelievable. You know, there is a
No,
God.
Johnny was a great player, man. Mattingly was a great player. I don't know if he was, in the era. Yeah, I think you have to look at Hall of Fame guys, what they did during their era that they played in. And, Donnie was definitely, the 80s, early 90s.
Best of the best. Who's going to win the batting title, Boggs or Mattingly, right?
Yeah,
and then Eddie Murray would come in and be like, neither. Bitches, beat it.
God, I love baseball.
I love it, too.
I am a huge baseball fan. The Minnesota Twins.
It's a hard deal to do to figure out who belongs in the Hall of Fame. If you look up against numbers from back in the days when guys were driving in 175 runs, you don't see that anymore. But, Donnie was definitely one of the best out there when I played. I know that. I
think Herbie's right. Like in baseball, it is hard because you can't do a numbers game because then you got guys like Clayton Kershaw who just got his 200th win. But that also puts a light on how impossible 300 wins is. But then also in football, there's like one guy, Joe Namath, that doesn't belong in the Hall of. It's like, really? He's got more interceptions and touchdowns, and I'm a Jets fan. And it kind of brings. And then they make guys like Jim Plunkett and Tom Flores wait because everybody hated Al Davis. I don't know if you guys. True. I don't know if you guys like other sports as well.
Skol. Talk about them all.
All right, good.
I don't know anything about hockey. I got no. I grew up in the inner city. We didn't even have ice.
Where'd you grow up?
North Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great spot. Great place to grow up. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm just looking over. I want to make sure that I'm not keeping you too long.
I won't let you. Just
okay.
I
just want to make sure.
So Hrbek, what's up? What are we doing?
We're just hanging out. We chat a little bit of baseball here on the show with Mr. Mackey and Mr. Barnard. And
I'm not sure how I feel about your guys' career move to do radio and not talk.
Phil's doing radio without talking. That's true.
Come on, Phil, chime in.
I actually do have a Don Mattingly question for Ken Hrbek. A very, very important Don Mattingly question. Okay. Did you ever think about growing a mustache like that during your career?
Yeah.
And what stopped you if not?
I had the porn stash going.
He had the Dan Gladden.
Yeah, that's right, Dan Gladden.
Yeah.
You had early in your career. You had in the major leagues. Did you ever have a mustache?
I did.
You did?
Yeah. If you look on one of my baseball cards, and you could wipe it off with your finger, it disappeared real quick.
Okay. By the way, it's amazing how much power the Yankees have. I mean, you get these guys. Like, remember Jason Giambi used to have a caveman beard with the Oakland Athletics, and then you go to the Yankees, and they hand you a razor before your first contract.
George Steinbrenner, misplaced narcissism.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this: in the Twins dome back in the day, when they had all those seats stacked up in the outfield, what were like those trash bags they hung over the front of them? Like it wasn't going to rain inside the dome.
Yeah.
No, that was the fence. That was the baggie.
It was the baggie.
The baggy fence?
It was a baggy fence.
Yeah,
It was great. Put a big 500-foot Dodge advertisement on it, and
right.
yeah.
Big rubber plastic, whatever the heck it was. Yeah.
What was your favorite town?
but
What was your
the
favorite
best
town on
was-
the road to play in?
Favorite town to play in?
Or favorite park to play in? Like where'd you show up and just go, I got this made. I'm mashing here.
Well, I mean, there's parts I like to play in, but I sucked in them. There's a lot of those. I love going to Boston.
I was just going to say, I bet you were great on that pesky pole, boy. Just hook it.
Hook it around there. I really like I really like playing in the old stadiums, Detroit, Comiskey, and Chicago. Of course, going to Fenway was cool. I opened up. My first game was in New York in the Yankee Stadium.
Oh, God.
Pretty
phenomenal.
mystique, pretty cool place. I like playing them all. Hey, if I was in the lineup, I like playing.
Yeah, right?
That's
Back in
exactly
the
it.
lineup.
Okay, should I reveal to Jay and his buddies what you did to me in 1987, Kent Hrbek? Very quickly. I just told the story a couple of weeks ago, but I'll run through it very quickly. I love the Twins, always have. Went on this show I was talking about earlier, and it blew up. It was the highest-rated morning show in America, as a matter of fact. It was huge, right? So I start chirping about the Twins one time, 87 or 88, somewhere in there, somewhere in that period. And I went after a couple of guys in the team pretty hard, and the rest of the team did not like that I went after their teammate pretty hard. And I went down in front of the Twins dugout, and not one player would look at me. They wouldn't even look at me. They're so pissed off at me. They don't come near me. Don't look at me. They wouldn't even. So what happens? Right in the middle of it, here comes Ken Hrbek, and he goes, "Hey, Tommy, how you doing?" Just to point out what a prick I am. So I really appreciate that to this day, Kent.
Well, you're welcome. Now everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right.
Think about the reach you have. Like, that's so rare that a guy on radio can talk trash about a team where the team's actually icing you at the stadium.
Oh, honestly, God,
that's
show,
power.
That show, we had a 30 share in the morning.
It's like Reggie Jackson said, fans don't boo nobodies.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Fans don't. I love the
That's
Reggie Jackson
true.
quote when he hit the third home run in the World Series, and they asked him, "What were you thinking as you were rounding the bases?" And he goes, "Just the magnitude of me."
Yeah. The magnitude of me. Yes. Oh, God.
I remember Reggie told me one thing. Reggie would tell everybody a lot of things. Reggie liked to tell everybody things. Reggie told me one thing. He was asking about, I don't know, I was on a bum wheel. I was hurting or something one time, and he was there, and he says, "Oh, you got a bad leg, huh?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, if you hit the ball far enough, you don't have to run."
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I always thought about that. That's pretty much true.
Kent Hrbek.
I know you're talking to Kent. What could be? Now I'd have to put up with this, by the way, for the next 6 months. Every Friday is going to be. I remember when Jay Mohr was in there, he could appreciate talent. Remember that?
Come on, Kent. I actually got to go. I got a Zoom meeting at 10.
Oh, damn it. Jay, you got to come back, man.
I will. I would love to.
You
Get
guys,
my number from this guy, and
that's
that's straight up. Whenever you want, I'll just call.
Well, we got Rudy in there, too. Huge fan.
I'll see you at home, Brittany.
Look at that lid he's got on down
Give
there.
Mabel a hug for me.
Great looking hat, man.
Thank you, sir.
Great looking
Nice
hat.
meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
By the way, Kent just said thanks for chatting, Jay. You should probably pop your headphones on one more time. Great to see you.
See you, Kent.
That was some amazing.
Right.
Ken sends a hug through the headphones here too.
Yeah,
send
a hug.
Thanks for coming in. Oh, absolutely. See you soon. You want to take a break here? Why don't we do that? We'll take a break here and then come back and do all the rest of this stuff. That'll be good. You guys. Oh, did Phil have to go?
I don't know about Phil. Phil probably left already.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm good. I'm good to go. Let's rock and roll.
Oh, so you can stay with us?
Are the Twins still in first place, or did they?
I'm telling you, honest to God, losing 2 out of 3 to Chicago was a little upsetting for Uncle Tommy.
Hey, easy, Tom, easy.
Well, that's awfully glass half empty. I saw it as winning 1 of 3 against Chicago on the optimistic side, but that's fine. You can bring your negativity.
Yeah,
bring your
okay. Oh,
you always want to drag players down and point out their shortcomings. I'm here to beef everybody up.
And then Kent comes in and goes, "Hi, Tom, how you doing?" Right after I do it.
Hey, that means you're a fan when you're ragging and get pissed off when your team loses. That means you're a fan. I mean, you're a hardcore fan,
does.
right?
It
absolutely
absolutely
if you're upset
does.
that your team loses, yeah, it was a tough weekend for him, or a couple days there for him. But you know what? They could easily lost all 3 of those games, but they hung it out. They stuck it out and ended up winning the game in 12 innings yesterday. I'm looking at, hey, they got 1 in a row. They're 3.5 games up. What are we, 5th of the way through the season so far? We're 4 games above 500. Multiply that times 4. That makes you 20 games over 500 if you keep going at it the way they are, and that puts you in pretty good position. So,
math checks out to me. Yeah, quit being negative, Tom.
Oh, so Tom's the one being negative.
Yeah,
I see how it's going.
I could have used a base hit from Trevor Larnach once in the series, but other than that, I'm positive.
Well, I would have to agree with you. I would have to agree. Let me ask both of you this question, because I know you guys only got about a minute or 2 left, but I don't like that, putting a guy on second base in the 10th inning. I am not a fan of that at all. You got to earn it, don't you?
Yeah. That's another speed-up deal.
Yeah, I know, but
implemented in the game. But no, I don't think anybody's a fan of it. Really?
Actually, I'm going to raise my hand, representing the millennial baseball fan here, someone who has the attention span of a gnat. I kind of like it in the regular season. Plus, it puts a little more urgency on. Hey, reliever, you're coming in. Got to be ready to, make something happen. I think it creates some fun urgency at the end of the game. But again, that's just me. I'm literally checking Instagram right now as I say that, because I'm always getting bored and sidetracked. It's my generation that ruined baseball. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't ruin baseball.
Yes,
you
did.
Changed some things.
No, you ruined it.
I definitely like the pitcher thing and the hitter being ready to go. Hey, let's go. Let's get in the box and play. It turned into a show for a while where guys would take 5 minutes to walk up, on their walk-up song and be dancing around in the box, and the pitcher's out there scratching everything he's got and walking around the rubber and blah, 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 and he ends up throwing a pitch, and 5 minutes later he throws another one. I mean, that got pretty sad.
Somebody posted, I can't remember which reliever it was. I think it was a Dodgers reliever from a couple years ago. And someone posted a video, and they had 2 videos side by side. They had the relief pitch. This is before the rule changes. They had the relief pitcher throwing a pitch, and then they had on the other screen the Kentucky Derby starting. And the entire Kentucky Derby finished before this reliever threw his second pitch of the inning.
Well, that's not good necessarily, but
show me the signs again. Step off the rubber. Look over to first. Show me the signs agan. Right.
Right. Well, hey, it'll give you a chance to channel surf while you're waiting in between pitches. What the heck? Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna watch the Kentucky Derby before this next pitch.
You know what I really enjoyed about today, honest to God, and I really did, having Jay Mohr in studio. Rudy got a hold of him. Well, Rudy worked with him last night and asked him to come in. He said he would come in. I met Jay. I thought it was here, but it must have been in Chicago or something. I thought it was here, but he said he'd never been here until last year, and this was about 20 years ago. But to have a guy, I mean, look, he's got a huge podcast. He, does voiceover. He does movies, does television shows, all the rest of it. To see a guy that successful and that famous get so excited to hear about another guy who's successful and famous, honest to God, Kent, he was like a child when I told him you were on the phone. It was hilarious. It made my heart feel.
You could have set his sights a little higher.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Sounds like he really wanted Don Mattingly to be on, actually, but he settled for Hrbek.
Sounds like he might have been. Where is he from originally? Do you know? Is he a Yankee?
Jersey?
New Jersey, yeah.
He's an East Coast guy.
He's probably, that's what brought up Don Mattingly, probably.
But honest to God, Rudy, what a pleasant man.
Best, isn't he?
Just a very, very pleasant guy. He was into it. He wants to come on the show a lot more. I just think that listening to you guys talk and to see the look on his face, how excited he was like a little 9-year-old boy talking to his baseball hero.
Yeah, and if you want to see it, it'll be up on YouTube. So,
perfect.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I never get starstruck on stage, and last night when I was up about halfway through was when Jay got into town and got to the club.
Oh,
And
okay.
I saw him in the back of the club, and I immediately, my brain was like, you suck, you're a hack. Why are you on stage? Get off the stage. You don't deserve to be up here. Jay Mohr is in the same room as you.
I love it.
By the way, can we just, I think it's, dude, Rudy, you're opening for Jay Mohr, man.
I know.
Yeah, isn't that great?
How cool.
That's awesome, dude.
He's killing it this month.
And here's the thing. I literally went to the club last night to have a drink and watch the show, and they were like, hey, by the way, our feature didn't come to town. Do you want to feature all weekend? I was like, I'm in. Let's do this. Yeah.
This is why you always have 3 to 5 minutes of material in your back pocket ready to rock and roll for that moment, right?
Well, I was half in the bag, and they're like, you got to do 20. I was like, all right, sounds good. I guess we're going to try to
What if I
make
just
this
repeat
happen.
the same 5 minutes 4 times? Will anyone notice?
But it'll
There
get
you
better
go.
as I go.
There you have it. All right, boys, we'll have a hell of a damn weekend. We got to win some games now. I don't like losing 2 out of 3 to Chicago, got to be honest with you, but it was a good win yesterday. Hard fought.
It'll be interesting to see what they do in Cleveland. Apparently, Cleveland likes to steal bases, so there's going to be some running going on. That's all I hear about is that they like to run the bases. But
baseball's hilarious, man. All these new revelations in baseball. So teams are going to steal bases and get in the batter's box faster. And Herbie's like, yeah, welcome to how baseball was when I played.
Yeah,
in the
very, very
80s and 90s.
All right, boys, we'll talk to you next week, correct?
Yes, indeed.
I'll be there. I'll be here. I'll be someplace.
I'll bring in another superstar to fawn all over you next week too, okay?
There we go.
Thanks a lot, fellas. Have a good day.
All right, boys and girls. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota legend Kent Hrbek Sports is brought to you by Killebrew Old Fashioned Root Beer and Cream Soda at the ballpark up north or in your fridge. Killebrew Root Beer and Cream Soda. Kent Hrbek brought to you by the... I love Killebrew Cream Soda. We have a case in the other room. It's wonderful stuff. We have to take a quick break, come back. Timmy Lammers will join us right after this. I'm never going to get over that segment. You know that, right?
I was laughing so hard.
That was a great... I just love the fact, his enthusiasm for talking to Hrbek, and Hrbek was just great to him. I mean, that reminded me, I'll be honest with you, this reminds me of doing the Q like 15 years ago.
I mean, I was crying. That was so funny.
It was
He was
really
so
good.
excited. Jay Mohr he looked like a little kid.
He was a little kid because he got to talk to Kent Hrbek. I love that, man. Yeah. All right, we'll take that break. You know, I've been saying I've been losing weight, and I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with the program offered by mnfatloss.com. The team at MN Fat Loss has figured out the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day. I have lost 15 pounds. I said 15 pounds. And I've only been on the program for a few weeks. I'm feeling healthier, and I got more energy. The program is safe and effective. That's huge to me. You know me, I'm not going to count points or eat prepackaged meals, certainly no hypnosis. Seriously, folks, if you want to lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, you really ought to check out the program at mnfatloss.com. Of course, results may vary, but I'm losing weight. I feel great, and if I can do it, I'm damn well sure you can do it. If you want to find out the secret to losing 15 pounds, just a few weeks, about a pound of fat every day, as a matter of fact, no exercise required. Schedule a free consultation. All you have to do is call 763-312-7600 online at mnfatloss.com. Be sure to tell them Tom Bernard said to give mnfatloss.com a call.
All right. And I'm not Tom Bernard, so I'd like to formally apologize for that. Timmy Lammers is on the phone.
Yeah.
You hit up Guardians of the Galaxy this week.
I did. And when Tommy gets back, please have him read the intro with the broad Sean Brown, because I like getting paid.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, definitely.
Are either one of you a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies?
Yeah, I've seen the first two, and I like them quite a bit. It's one of those ones I go, those were so enjoyable when I see them.
Love both of them, and then I rode the Guardians of the Galaxy at Disney a couple of weeks ago, and it...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were there. Yeah, how was that?
Changed my life.
Really?
It's the best ride. It's the best ride I've ever been on, hands down.
What song did you get?
We got
conga.
Yeah, the conga song. I can't remember the name of it because most of those songs.
Gloria Estefan.
Yes, but her first big hit with the Miami Sound Machine.
Yeah, but they do they do switch it up. So depending on which time you go, because I think the second time we had gone, we got. Well, I got a feeling that something ain't right. I forget all these names of these songs. Yeah. I'm just so scared I'm getting up, fall out my chair. Yeah, that one.
The great part about these movies is that James Gunn, the writer and director, picks the greatest songs, the greatest soundtracks.
Yeah.
Usually they're songs from the 70s. We get some more modern stuff in here, though, mixed in. The movie actually opens with Radiohead's Creep. It's a darker movie, you know? And I think they missed the mark with this one because younger audiences are going to see this movie, and there's some pretty dark stuff that kids I don't think should be exposed to.
Well, it's kind of negative, I think.
Well, it is negative. Hey, welcome back, Tom.
Thank you. I had to pee, man. You only get like 2 minutes, like every 3 hours in here.
Yeah, well, there you got to get one of those Wizenators like the people that are faking. Yes, there you go.
Correct.
Just kind of, if you look like you're relaxing, then I know what you're doing. Anyway, I would like to mention that I am brought to you by,
let me mention it for you.
Yes.
Okay. Tim Lammers, movies. Brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant. Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers, seeking justice for the injured. Timmy Lammers and Michael.
Who I was texting with last night because Michael had seen the film last night. I actually screened the film yesterday. And we both feel the same way. It's, first of all, Tom, 2.5 hours long.
No, which movie is this now?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I have no interest in that whatsoever.
The usual words are, I'm out. Mm-hmm. But you're out with the superhero movies anyway.
I don't like superhero
movies.
So
this one concentrates on a couple different things. First of all, Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Bradley Cooper, we get his backstory, and it is really dark. Of course, he had mentioned early on that he was the subject of animal experiments. Okay. So now we get to see that kind of stuff. And that's the sort of dark stuff that I'm like, why? Little kids, I don't know that they need to see this. Because even though they're fake animals, Brittany, I don't think you're going to do too well with this.
I've seen a
Being
clip.
the animal lover that I am, and I know you are.
Yeah.
I thought you're not going to do too well with this.
I've seen a clip, and they're very cute. And I'm so nervous to know what happens to them, so I don't want to know.
The baby raccoons you're talking about?
The baby, all the things. And they go like, if I had a name, my name would be Floor, because I get stuck on the floor. It's like so cute. I go, I don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, then if you don't want to know, you might want to avoid this movie.
I don't want to know.
I mean, and that's what's baffling about this. Why James Gunn went down this dark path. Because... again, it's not the audience. He has made these fun, light, and happy. But when you get a situation where we learn Rocket's backstory, and then he is almost fatally wounded, and they need to go back to the source of this experimentation in order to save his life, you get to see a lot of things. And again, it's shocking how dark they go with this. So that is one prong of the story. The other one is Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, thinks Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, is dead. And she comes back, much to his surprise, but this is an earlier iteration of her because you got to remember all the time travel stuff in the Avengers films and all that. So she doesn't know him. She doesn't know the Guardians. she has no memory of them because this is the Gamora before she met Peter Quill. So he's trying to connect with her because he's deeply in love with her. She doesn't know any of the Guardians, so there's problems there connecting. So those are the two main storylines that are going on in this film. So a lot of it is crash, boom, bang for a good hour and 45 minutes. And then the last 45, we get into the more emotional stuff because it has been announced that this is the last iteration of these Guardians that we are going to see. And so there are some goodbyes, okay? And so me and the lovely Mrs. Lammameter are both tearing up. So it's kind of weird. So on one hand, we got this really dark movie, but at the other hand, the last 45, the best 45 minutes of the movie, it gets really emotional and it finally draws you in. But again, you're at the 2.5 hour mark, and that's the full 2.5 hours because it has a mid-end credit scene and then one after the end credits that you should see. So Marvel, they're smart, man. They get you for the full 2.5 hours with this one.
It makes total sense. Is that everything, Pally?
That is quickly, 6 out of 10 on the Lammameter.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Also, quickly, recommendation, Fatal Attraction is now a series on Paramount Plus.
Really?
You got Joshua Jackson and Lizzie Kaplan instead of Michael Douglas and Glenn Close. Try as they might, they're both great actors. I love them both, but they just don't have the weight of those two actors in that original film. It's interesting enough. I'll probably keep watching it, but I just think this one was better left alone. But, look, I mean, Hollywood is bankrupt of originality, so it doesn't surprise me that, hey, let's remake Fatal Attraction as a series. It's kind of that sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I understand it completely.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you on Tuesday, correct?
Tuesday on the Tom Barnard Family. The family on the Tom Barnard podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, baby. All right, everybody have a great weekend.
Thanks a lot, Timmy.
Bye, Tim.
See ya.
Timmy Lammers, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Look at that. We ran 2 minutes over. Are we going to have to charge him more?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to take 2 minutes off next week.
I'm telling you honestly, it's so great. That is the first time we've had a person of Jay Mohr stature in studio in about 3 years because of that whole pandemic thing and all that stuff. It's so great to have that as part of our lives again. And hopefully we can do that with a lot more people. But Jay Mohr was very impressive, I will tell you that.
How funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me, I was crying. That was so funny. What a funny guy. Thanks, Rudy. Great job.
Just a great attitude. All right, we will get her done for this week. We'll talk to you next week. Tom Barnard Show.
Bye.